collaborative about
Yeah,
it?
we're really collaborative when we get kind of manic. And whenever I get together with Ethan puts in a whole other layer of art on top of the actual art on the page that the reader will never ever see, but that are there. But he will at a certain. He's a genius on a very bizarre level. He's a genius on a very bizarre level. Very bizarre level. He's a genius on a very bizarre level. Very bizarre level.
Hello everyone, welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. You're listening to Ethan Van Sciver, 27-year veteran of the comic book industry, world's most charming, elegant, eloquent, and yet humble man. Great big Star Wars fan, trusted member of the media. And I am a human sunbeam. The world revolves around the sun, and I am a glorious ray of light.
He's a genius on a very bizarre level. Very bizarre level.
None of you niggas are Chuck Dixon.
Oh my God, he's doing it again. This is the opening frame. Woo! He's doing it again, dude. Hippo mouth. I love it. I have not seen him do this in a while. First, how do you begin talking like this? Well, how is this your default position when you're about to give a little lecture? I've not seen this in a while, but you guys are
Baby, honey. You were having a nightmare about Trashcast again. Don't worry. I'll always be right here, next to you.
Rip-a-potamus, 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 rip-a-potamus.
boy, it's hard to like lead in. You know, it's hard to get your footing after music that beautiful. It's hard to begin a show, try to find the right tonality for you guys, but it is me, Ethan Van Sciver. You're used to me. You're adjusted to my tone. You're adjusted to my measure. You're not expecting, me to come in with a, electric guitar lick or anything, are you? How are you guys? It's the Trash Cast Show. How come I can't get this camera to be the way that I want it to be? It's a Trash Cast Show. I'm Ethan Van Sciver, 30-year veteran, 32, 33-year veteran of the comic book industry, world's most charming, disarming, elegant, and yet humble man. Great big Sopranos fan, trusted member of the media, trusted member of the media right off the bat. Woo! Oh, it makes me want to march. Hail Trash Cast. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's beautiful. No, wait, hold on a second. We don't want to loop that. We want to get rid of that. There we go. I mean, when we play that song. Now, whenever we receive a super chat of 20, I think an orange super chat or bigger, we have to march like that. It's just important that we do. Linkovich Tomovsky says, frankly, I was expecting a guitar lick. To be honest, I was. Here's Delaware Comic Dude says, adjusted to your girth. Yeah, that is true. Tony Donuts says, Flash has been going nuts for a while now. Let me see. Learn video lighting, Ethan, says Crazy Cat. Would that help any? You're playing my song, EVS, says Sergeant Politeness. And we got a lot of people here in the mood and the spirit for this. We got a pretty good show, I guess. I mean, I don't want to promise too much here with this show. This song really pissed off the Indian fucker Flash, says Slappy McSlapster. Boy, you guys are really ready to rear to fight here. Great. We got Mint Salad, who did a live stream today and asked me anything live stream. I watched some of it, man. I did. I watched some of that live stream. You and Sean make a fetching couple. That was interesting. I hope you got what you wanted out of that. We're having an SS gathering, says Lisa Roberts. No, SS. Let me see. Yippee, catchy tune. What a shitty camera, says Owazaru. Hell, bigot, says Samba Go Go. Yeah, maybe. All right, we got a lot to go over today, guys. A lot of stuff. It's going to be pretty interesting. First and foremost, I'm in the news today. Brain-faced Awful says, Ethan, wore my all-caps hoodie and ran into a CG fan. Hopefully not while driving. Is he okay? That's nice, man. I like that. Thank you for $2.01 American. Appreciate that. I saw that AMA. It was weird. It says major glitch. Yeah, I watched as much of it as I could. I like Mint Salad. I like Sean. I was happy to see that they had a nicely attended live stream. Here's Slagloss 5108 says, been loving the Air July crash outs and Yellow Flash spurging out. So much entertainment lately. We all miss Trash Cast. Now listen. Okay, let's talk about this for a little bit. When it comes to Trash Cast, I love doing Trash Cast when it's time to do Trash Cast. I feel like absence makes the heart grow fonder. That's what I feel like. I also feel like when I do Trash Cast, it gives retards like Eric and Yellow Flash and others something to push up against. I mean, they basically like to just sort of use Trash Cast as an excuse. They use this show to point their fans at and go, see, this is why we suck. This is why we're failing, because of Ethan Van Sciver. I've seen this stuff all day long, man. I've seen the craziest posts from people who are completely irrelevant. Like, I mean, absolutely completely irrelevant to my life, to your life. And I realized how important Trash Cast is to some of these folks. I mean, I was looking at this. Somebody sent me this. I was just like, what the hell? Let me show you this. Let me share this with you. You guys, I'm going to do a little reading to you today. This is going to be mostly like reading. I do have a video. I think I have a couple of videos to do with you guys. But most of it is going to be reading. I'm going to be, it's going to be like reading Rainbow. So we got Doug Ernst here. You guys know who Doug Ernst is. Doug Ernst is one of these former comic skaters who built an entire career. He's very dry. He's very dry. I would say he's kind of boring. Built an entire career on picking on Dan Slott. He didn't like Dan Slott. Poor Dan Slott. I mean, if you know Dan Slott, it is funny that Dan Slott got his own pet Spurg, who was working for the Washington Examiner at the time. I think Doug was working there, Doug Ernst. Doug Ernst just did not like Dan Slott's lack of professionalism. And Doug Ernst did like the attention that it got him on YouTube. So he would make all these great videos just following Dan Slott around. Dan Slott, Slotto-Bloctavius. Dan Slott, who basically could not shake, some of these retards. Dan would say things like, Dan was on my show one time, Dan Slott, and he basically said, I don't care what the haters say. I don't care if they hate me. I don't care if they say I'm bad. They're just pixels on a screen, after all, so I don't care. And what he meant by that was words can't hurt me. But what Doug Ernst took that to mean was, you, the fans, don't matter. You're just pixels on the screen. They're fucking deliberately misunderstanding Dan. Everywhere Dan went, like, I knew what Dan meant. Dan, and when he said it, I was like, oh no, dude, you just gave these guys ammo. They're looking to deliberately misunderstand everything all the time, folks like Doug. So anyway, that's where Doug Ernst came from. Doug Ernst then had a comic book about a priest. I mean, a Catholic priest who's fighting demons, I guess. His own demons, maybe. His inner demons. We don't want to get into that too much. We have Catholics watching. I don't want to talk about, I don't want to get blasphemous. I don't want to get offensive. But anyway, Doug Ernst writes a book about a Catholic priest who's fighting demons. No, I'm not going to say it again. And he signed up with Iconic Comics, and I don't know how Iconic Comics is doing. They don't exist to me. They're like not in Comicsgate. They're over here somewhere. They're in Japan or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't know how their books really sell. Every now and then I look at YouTube and I just see, oh look, the new episode of Common America is out, and it has raised $130,000, and that's the same as it raised before. And the same as it raised before that. So it's consistent, and that's good. I have no idea what Doug's book is raising. But Doug is really, really obsessed with me. And he has been ever since, I don't know how long ago it was. Was it 4 years ago that he hired Comic Book Hut to come after me? And he hired him. He paid him. He gave him cash money under the guise of, this is to bury your mother. He gave him $1,000, and it was like, yeah, to bury your mom. Who does that? Who would do that? It would give $1,000 to a stranger to bury. Oh, good Christian would do that. While he was also coordinating these video attacks on me and your boy Zach and a few others, So he says, Eric July has like a poster. I don't even know what this says. It says, I've said it 1,000 times. These days, I don't care much for modern iterations of nerd culture media. Oh, I know what he's talking about. Years ago, I'd break down what I liked and disliked about the latest releases. Now, it's hard to even have an opinion. So Eric is just basically saying, I'm too lazy to watch the Lanterns trailer. I don't want to have an opinion about the Lanterns trailer. I'm done doing what people want me to do. People liked me on YouTube because I would give my opinions about woke media. I don't want to do that anymore. And here's the thing. People are looking at me and scrutinizing me right now. And I keep telling everybody that I am not anti-woke, but I am non-woke. I'm just not woke. You know what I mean? I'm not anti-woke. It's okay if you're woke. It's okay if you personally want DEI in every company. It's okay if, you are, hiring unqualified people based on their race and skin color. Based on their gender, based on their sexual orientation. It's okay if you're doing that and skipping over more qualified Caucasian individuals. That's fine. It's okay if, like, you want, if you're all about reparations for black people for crimes committed against certain people 200 years ago, that's fine. But as for Eric, like, he is just choosing to opt out of woke. Like, do you have an opinion about woke? Yeah, I'm personally not woke, but hey, Sarah, Sarah, you know what I mean? Is that what it is? C'est la vie? That's life. What? No, that's life. Oh, Adama 85. Look at this. We got an orange super chat. Thank you so much. Adama 85 says, good evening, Ethan and CG. Here's a 20 spot for ticking off the mainstream yet again. May you have a great episode of Trash House. We're going to get into that. Because this is like old times. We're going to get into that. This is like old times. I got these guys coming after me big time on the internet right now. And at the same time, I've also pleased others. But anyway, Doug Ernst says this. On a related note, the more everything becomes about me. On a related note, the more seriously you take your own business, the less time you have for a lot of other issues that used to demand psychological real estate. Like what, Doug? Like looking at a trailer and telling your fans if you think it's good or not? Is that so difficult? Is that too much to ask of Eric and you? You guys are taking your business so seriously that you can no longer just watch a Star Wars trailer or this new Green Lantern trailer and give fans your unbridled, fair, I'm sure it's going to be fair, opinion about it. He says, if I'm going to get projects done and done well, by the way, using these two dashes here, which indicates that, this is ChatGPT or Grok. By the way, whenever you get Grok to write something for you, they put Grok uses these dashes here. Most people don't do that. That's a really hard thing to find on your keyboard. I mean, listen, if you're looking for it, you'll find it. But human beings don't do that. That is evidence, these dashes of ChatGPT. And done well, what once was front and center nearly a decade ago needs to blur and move to the periphery. Yeah, I'm so sure Doug Ernst wrote this. I enjoy catching up with readers and old online buddies, but seriously approaching professional endeavors requires a reprioritization of daily tasks. Your daily task is to watch a fucking HBO TV show trailer and tell people I liked it, I didn't like it. Is that too difficult? That's too much to ask of these guys. Rip-averse and iconic comics, in my totally biased opinion, understand the importance of time management. You had time to fucking write this and post it on Twitter. You're telling me you can't do a little fan service? You can't sit there and watch the Lanterns trailer and have an opinion about it, or at least fake an opinion? Oh my God, time management. Oh yeah, that's great. What a wonderful thing. Thank you so much for managing your time so that you could make another book about a priest battling his demons, his inner demons, probably because he's a pedophile and he's fucking the altar boys. Don't you think? Isn't that what it's about? Let's ask Milo Yiannopoulos about that situation. Now, I am in personal trouble right now because I dared. This is the whole thing. I dared do one thing that you should never do. One thing that if only I managed my time maybe a little bit better, I would not have had the time to do this, to look at a trailer. And it wasn't even a trailer. It was a little, hi, my name's Aaron Pierre, and I'm on the set of our exciting Lantern show. Can't wait to show you boys. And I went, what the hell? Jon Stewart is a faggot. Now, this was back in December. I thought I got away with it, but this was back in December. And I guess people are discovering it now. Now, in my opinion, this is what's so weird about like the current situation, okay? My opinion has changed since I saw the new Green Lantern trailer, and now I'm saying things that are, it's like the birds are singing in the trees because my opinion is being expressed in a proper way about the Green Lantern trailer. But I will tell you this, in December, when I first saw Aaron Pierre speak, and people were like, didn't you see his movie? Didn't you see this movie? He's a badass in this movie. I said, no, I didn't see that movie. All I saw was him mincing around his trailer. and then talking about like, oh, I can't wait to show you boys. And I said, whoa, he's like a little late in his loafers, but I used the F slur. Now, controversy has erupted because I said that. You know, I feel like I'm safe. I feel like cancel culture has at least kind of made me safe. You know what I mean? Like I should be safe from all this stuff. I should be able to say whatever I want without controversy erupting. Who cares what a has-been DC Comics? You're washed up, Ethan. Who cares what a has-been Green Lantern DC Comics artist has to say about anything? That's what I hear all the time. And yet, whenever I call a black guy the F slur or the N's, I've never called. I didn't say that. I said the F slur, to be clear. Then suddenly controversy erupts after former Green Lantern artist uses homophobic slur while reacting to Lantern's trailer. Now, this is very deceptive. I was not reacting to a Lantern's trailer, not the new Lantern's trailer, certainly not. So you, Joey Power, whatever your name is, Joey Parr, F you. All right, so here's what it says. The upcoming DCU series Lanterns has been generating a lot of excitement as it gears up to bring the Green Lantern mythology to HBO in a very interesting and different way. Well, I liked what I saw and was digging the True Detective vibe. Other fans were complaining about how there wasn't enough green in the trailer. But now the conversation around the show recently shifted in an ugly direction after the fat former DC Comics artist, Fatso Ethan Van Sciver, who sparked backlash during a live stream reaction to the trailer. Van Sciver, who once had a prominent career in comics with his work on Green Lantern Rebirth, once upon a time, guys, a prominent career in this. Hold on a second. Music. Here we go. This might be better. Is this better? No, that's not working at all. How about this? Van Sciver, who once had a prominent career in comics with his work on Green Lantern Rebirth, Batman, Superman, and several X-Men titles. Just one has spent the last several years stirring controversy online. His latest comments have once again put him at the center of criticism from fans. During a stream where he reacted to footage from Lanterns, Van Sciver targeted the show's lead actor, Aaron Pierre, who plays Jon Stewart. While discussing the trailer, he referred to the actor with a homophobic slur, calling Pierre a faggot and a homosexual. That's funny. This guy's a faggot and a homosexual, before adding, it's real creepy to hear him talk. I think that's fair commentary. By the way, the day that I said that, I got a page done. So time management, my balls. I actually did get a page done. The same time I was able to call Aaron Pierre a faggot and a homosexual and say it was creepy to hear him talk. Thank you. A lot of people are crying right now. Now listen, I have apologized since. I did apologize. Unsurprisingly, the remarks triggered a wave of backlash on social media. Many fans began tagging James Gunn, demanding consequences for Vince. You guys, demanding consequences for Van Sciver's comments and asking DC to cut ties with him. Is this am I crazy? Am I taking crazy pills? What do you mean asking for consequences for me? I can say whatever I want. I don't work for DC Comics. I don't work for Warner Brothers. I don't work for James Gunn. What is he going to do? Super duper quadruple fire me? Cancel me? You already did that for saying similar things while I was working at DC Comics. We'll get into that in a minute. We got Eric July gaslighting himself and the public about that situation. DC might fire you, says Forex. I better be careful. Aaron Pierre is a real faggy name, says Pete Cowan. My name is Aaron Pierre. There's no way it's his real name. Fix this, Ethan, says Dona Gal. I'm trying to. I'm doing everything I can do about this. I want you guys to know that I am doing everything that I can do to repair the damage that I've caused, okay, and the hurt feelings, so that I do not get fired a second time from DC Comics. By the way, now would be a good time for me to go try to get a job at DC. Because what would happen is they would say, you're hired, just so they could fire me again. Yeah. And tell me there's words that I can't say. All those fucking words are fucking gay. All those fucking rules are fucking gay. Major Glitch says, if you think it's a special thank you at the end of the movie, it will be the cherry on top. Mwah. And I think I will, guys. It's not a movie, though. It's a TV show. I don't think they do special thanks. Yeah, Ethan is self-employed. So, yeah, I'm going to be talking to my boss. Believe me, I talk to my boss all the time in the mirror. So, look at you. I think DC might take you on and draw a lot of press, says Jibber. That would be nice. All right, so here's the thing. Now, Pedro Pascal actually, by the way, how right am I? I think I'm, as Eric July would say, batting 100 because I predicted, I called Pedro Pascal all kinds of names, and I was right. He is, as it turns out, a homosexual. Now, people are saying that, by the way, people, as soon as oh my God, hold on a second here. Let me find this. You're going to love this because this is the power. You guys think that, like, you know, I am just a crackpot, a fat basement dwelling fool. But you're wrong about that. You're right about that. But you are also wrong about it because, like, the minute I start talking about how Aaron Pierre is a kid, suddenly, like, this shit starts showing up. You got Aaron Pierre out there. No. Oh, look at him. Nice beard. Oh, and the facial hair is nice too. Aaron Pierre is out there like, look at my girlfriend. I have a girlfriend, dude. I have a girl. I have a lady friend. I'm heterosexual. Chris Benoit says, Ethan is your good, close personal friend. I just want to say that I'm here to offer you my support during these consequences. Just say the word, buddy. Chris Benoit, get away from me, okay? And my family. I swear to God, I can't believe you're in hell. You're not in hell yet. Ridiculous. To slur is human, says Golden Bat Anime Hero. Thank you at least for... This is off-putting, says Marby Dog. What is? Sweet Tooth says, you're way more than just fat to us, Ethan. Thank you. Where are my super chats? Start sending more super... What? Michael Jackson did the same thing, says Xeno for XL. Yeah, immediately you start showing up with girls everywhere. Oh, yeah. Does Aaron Pierre... Oh, this is a good question. Directly after, we got this kind of stuff going on. Does Liberace have a wife or a girlfriend? He's just waiting for the right girl to come along. This is a man... Hold on a second here. Open image in a new tab. Just in case, like, you guys are wondering, like, this right here is the man who's just waiting for the right woman to come along, who will help him with keep his eyebrow game on fleek. And by the way, Andrea used to do that for me too. She used to pluck my eyebrows for me. I look pretty good. I believe he has a family. Oh, you do? You believe that? You believe anything. Here's a red super chat from Billy Bond, regular gin, but it's just for like 3 cents. Like, I don't even know what this is. Why is it red? No, I know he is. I know he's straight. Listen, the whole point of this is that here's your money, Ethan Van DSP, says Major Glitch. Thank you. I hope someday to get down to his weight class. Someday. Liberace had 150 wives, says Ems. No, he doesn't. He didn't. He had just his mom. Ethan, send me super chats. Also, Ethan doesn't read all the super chats. I do read them all. What the hell? Best wishes, EVS. Yellow Flash whines again tonight, says Pilgrim Media. 60 ounce says, hello, CG. Hail to the trash. Here's Mr. Mont, 804. Ethan, you better join the Marines and fight for Israel, or Senator Shane Davis going to break something. I don't want to fight for Israel. I don't care about their conflict over there. Now, I don't have an opinion at all. You know, I'm not anti-Israel. I just choose to be non-Israel. Does that make sense to you? I'm not anti-Palestine. You know what I mean? I'm just sort of non-Palestine. That's all. Mexicans for Trump, pro-ICE, pro-life, hashtag #endwoke, hashtag hail Darth Gutierrez. Are they getting close to discovering you, ICE? When they do, I will say, look, this guy is pro-ICE, okay? He's Mexicans for Trump. He can stay. Obviously, he can stay. You know, my issue with the Mexicans sneaking into the United States wasn't that they were illegal aliens. It's just they were all going to vote for Democrats. If you're like willing to vote for Trump and vote Republican and you will sign a waiver to that effect, let's import the third world. I like it. Start good rest. Yeah, as long as you're going to vote for Trump, man, it's all good. Catholic priest fights the demon Dougus Caius, says Urashua Taro. M dash isn't on the keyboard. Hold Alt plus 1051 equals dash. That's too much. It's too much to do. P. Cowan, I read this one. The story is human. Get your tits out. I need to look straight. Yeah, something like that. Read this super chat, says Zeno, for $5. Thank you, Zeno. I did. Zeno 4XL. I did read it. And Star Wars Like a Rock. Thanks for $2. I appreciate that. I read all of my super chats. You know what I mean? I don't just wait for the big ones. I read them all. I read all your super chats. He's gay, says Jedi Knight of the Tifa call. He gay. Did you read my super chats? Says Jose M. No, I'm not gonna. Jose M, you're the only one whose super chats I won't read. So don't send them, okay? And don't make them funny either, because I will not read them. And you'll be really sad. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, me. I was talking about how I called Aaron Pierre the F slur and controversy erupted because of it. Many fans began tagging James Gunn, demanding consequences. There will be no comeuppance for me. None. Adama85 says, speaking of lanterns, Ethan, did you hear what Damon Lindelof said about the name Green Lantern? He said they shortened it just to lanterns because Green Lantern is dumb. That guy, huh? Adama, you need to be here. This is class for you. You need to be here more than anyone else, okay? You need to stick around here. I'm going to educate you a little bit. This is the thing. I want some of you have been poisoned. Your brains have been turned to mush. Some of you out there, you young skulls, and gold, microphone with talent on loan from God. I'm going to have to teach some of you young skulls full of mush a little something about Generation X sarcasm. We used to know when somebody was kidding, even if they didn't laugh and smile while they said what they were saying, we knew it was dry humor. Gen X had it. Generation Y didn't have it. I think the terrorists took it away on 9/11. Generation. Okay, very good. So we'll talk about that. Well, I will explain that to you, and you'll see what we're talking about. Here's Rachel Brinkley, who became a member. I love that. Thank you for walking around the show, kicking the tires, and then deciding you would buy it. Look at this. Damon Lindelof is such a hack fraud. Did you create Lost? I don't think so. Have you created a cultural icon like, what else did he do? Oh, Star Trek. Remember when he did the only watchable Star Trek movies? Jose M. Are you ready to eat crow when Lanterns is a massive thermonuclear woke disaster? E-woke disaster like Watchmen by Damon Lindelof? You think it will be? Are you telling me that you believe that a southern town full of white people that seems to be under the sway of some kind of racist hypnosis in which Hal Jordan, the white old man Green Lantern, gives his ring over to the younger black Green Lantern who says, your time is through, old man. It's time for me. I'm more capable than you. I'm better than you, and I can do the job better than you. Facing off against a town of bigots. You're telling me that you think that's going to be woke? Well, let me tell you something. I'm not anti-woke. I'm just non-woke, okay? I want you to understand. I am not anti-woke. I'm not. Okay, EMS 5427. What is Yellow Flash's problem? Air July's junkyard dog is mad. That's going to become abundantly clear to you on this show. It's not about Yellow Flash, even though Yellow Flash's prize is at stake here. Eric July's in fucking trouble. He's in real trouble. I want my rush back, says Toxic Dust. They're all protecting him right now. They're all coming after me. I'm going to be a distraction while Rippaverse kind of collapses. No, EVS will just tell you he was right all along, and you're an idiot for disagreeing. Kai Rennell, I'll tell you that now. What do you mean? I don't need to see the movie to say that. Mike D83 CGOG says 2-year milestone for me. Hail CG. What are your thoughts on the Lanterns cast? Pierre is as gay as the day is long. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, he's hanging out with chicks right now. He is getting some titty. He's getting some poontang, he says. And that should be proof that he ain't gay. All right, he ain't gay. All right. Anyway, the situation is hold on. This is great. Unsurprisingly, the remarks immediately triggered a wave of backlash on social media. Many fans began tagging James Gunn, demanding consequences for Van Sciver, calling Aaron Pierre a faggot, and asking DC to cut ties with him. Now, the situation is somewhat complicated by the fact that Van Sciver has not worked for DC Comics in years. His professional relationship with the publisher ended in 2018 following earlier controversies tied to his online rhetoric and political commentary. Now, isn't this interesting? Isn't this interesting? My online rhetoric and what is this? Political commentary. That's why my professional relationship ended with DC Comics. Wow. You know, this article is pretty right on the money. It's pretty much right on the money. It's fascinating that these guys get it right and others do not. Even so, the remarks have once again pushed him into the spotlight. Hell yeah, for all the wrong reasons. Oh, shit. Especially as anticipation builds for Lanterns and the broader DC Universe reboot. Series itself is shaping up to be a major cornerstone stone of the culture war. As you can see, like, you can already tell that it's like a major cornerstone of the culture war, but I don't know why. Like, I'm not sure why it is, but it is. Like, there are people who are just like, you're going to hate this. It's woke. You're going to love it. It's woke. It's woke, woke, woke. I hate it. It looks like shit. How come it's not green? You know, like, this is important. Like, this TV show is important for some reason. It's a culture war battleground, potentially. Very much like Last Jedi. I do not know why. I can't figure it out. Jennifer Grover goes, hi, Uncle E. Hey, Jennifer Grover, how are you? And then a kiss and a hug. Thank you, Jennifer Grover. I'll take that kiss right here, and here's a hug for you. I'll take the kiss right here or right here, okay? And that's fine. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. You know, like, ladies, if you meet me and you're a fan and you want to kiss one of my chubby cheeks, you can do it. It's perfectly okay. I think Andrew would be okay with that. Andrew, are you okay with that? I hope so. Consequences will never be the same, says Oval Team Patrol. Yeah, I know. I'm expecting them. Jose M, by the way, gifted a membership. Thank you. Did you see that lady's tits? He can't be gay, says Yurash Mataru. Yo, but what if she's a lesbian, though? Right? Just delightful. Join the channel. Thank you. I appreciate it. 2018, let's go. Hail. So that's what it is. We're in 2018 right now. This is just, you know, a flashback to 2018. Andrea, if it's not okay that female fans kiss me on the cheek, you can come down and say it's not okay. You come down to the stairs and go, Andrea makes the rules about that. So we got to make sure that, you know, I'm not speaking out of school. The series itself is shaping up to be a major cornerstone of the new DCU. Lanterns will follow Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan as they investigate a murder, a mysterious murder connected to white supremacy. Connected to something much bigger unfolding on Earth. James Gunn previously explained the concept when the project was announced. This is a story of a couple of Green Lanterns, John and Hal. We have a couple other lanterns peppered in here or there, but it's really a terrestrial-based TV show, which is almost like True Detective, with a couple of Green Lanterns who are space cops watching over Precinct Earth. And they discover a terrifying mystery that ties into our larger story of the DCU. So there's going to be a terrifying mystery, guys. Terrifying mystery is, how can we fire Ethan Van Sciver when he's calling Lantern star Aaron Pierre he's calling him in trailer review. Look, does he look happy about this? Why would I say that? Why is it the popular headline? Green Lantern artist calls Lantern star Aaron Pierre Oh my God, dude, it's the end of the world. I'm making the news everywhere, guys. I want you to understand. Like, why would I do that? Why would I call him a like he has a flat head like in your drawings, Ethan? Oh, that's true, he does. Maybe I was right all along. Tark says, draw. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. How could I say this? How could I call this man, clearly heterosexual man, a faggot? Marks 9351 says, draw streams are awesome, Ethan. Thank you. Well, but this isn't a draw stream. Are you saying this isn't awesome? I feel like you're saying that this isn't awesome and I should be doing a draw stream instead. No, I know that. I got 2 regular. This week has been nothing but draw streams and getting Rainbow the Brute pages done. And then a couple of regular shows. We did Comicsgate Live yesterday. You guys yelled at me about that. And then today's Trash Cast, and you guys are being very nice. Appreciate it. You guys are being very kind. I love the fact that SJWs won't just let EVS shill for DC. I mean, seems like a layup. Seems like I should be allowed to just say whatever I want to say. But instead, here's the problem with that. The problem is when they let me do what I want to do, I end up calling Green Lantern star Aaron Pierre a faggot and making the headlines of popular news everywhere in comic book. And then everybody cries. And then, like, I become the thing that gets retweeted. And then everybody goes, this dirtbag. I wish we could cancel him again. Notice the happening. Says, I miss Trash. I'm here. I'm doing Trash Cast. Stop lying, says Gibber. Draw streams are boring 90% of the time, but it's the 10% of the time. That's the other 10% that really matters. Controversial comic book artist Ethan Van Sciver has caused an uproar online after referring to Lantern star Aaron Pierre as a faggot during his trailer review. At one point, I want you to pay attention. At one point, Ethan Van Sciver was one of the most prolific artists working in the comic book medium. Where did you get that from? By the way, 112 comments on me calling Aaron Pierre a faggot. That's a lot. That is a lot. They're all saying he is, though. I did get some support from people going, dude, you were right, though, for real. I was like, what? That's not a nice thing to say. All right. So, what else? Yeah, I did a bunch of stuff. Who cares? No, I don't want to subscribe to this. Come on now. All right. Van Sciver previously referred to Superman's. Van Sciver has previously referred to Superman's Guy Gardner Nathan Fillion design as an atrociously stupid-looking humiliation. I did say that. I did. And that became news as well. Like, what the hell? Can I say anything? And has now shared his take on the recent trailer for Lanterns while using a homophobic slur to describe the main cast member. During his stream, Van Sciver calls Jon Stewart actor Aaron Pierre a faggot and a homosexual. Thanks for the clarification, Ethan. This guy's pretty smart. Yeah, I just want to make it clear that, you know, what that means is he's this and he's a homosexual. Let me just round it. But I don't think so. Before adding that it's really creepy to hear him talk. Understandably, this has resulted in a lot of backlash with many fans tagging James Gunn and calling for Van Sciver to be fired. Thing is, he hasn't worked for DC Comics since 2018. Why are you bothering me then? Leave me alone. Let me be. Look at me here. Hold on a minute. He's just that kind of a guy. So he just seems like he's going to be like a good Hal Jordan. Aaron Pierre is a faggot and a homosexual. And it's real creepy to hear him actually talk. Now, having said that,
I don't
his
remember
face, he looks a lot like Jon Stewart.
This is AI. Hold on, let me hear that again.
He's just that kind of a guy. So he just seems like he's going to be like a good Hal Jordan. Aaron Pierre is a faggot and a homosexual.
Now, I want to point out
and
one thing. I did edit it out. You'll notice that, like, I didn't just come out and say it. I kind of edited it out. Like, I used to edit out my curses when I was around the house. I'd be like, you know what? F you. And I would edit. You get the F and then you get the sound at the end. I don't give a like that. I did the same thing there. I pretty much was diligent in editing that slur out. Let's hear that again. That kind of a guy. So he just seems like he's going to be like a good Hal Jordan. Aaron Pierre is a faggot and a homosexual. And it's real creepy to hear him actually talk. Now, having said that, his face, he looks a lot like Jon Stewart. So I'm excited about the way he looks as Jon Stewart. I hope he's able to be Jon Stewart. So people say I'm the Rush Limbaugh of comics. Let's find out if I am. Let's see. Just that kind of a guy. So he just seems like he's going to be like a good Hal Jordan. Aaron Pierre is a faggot and a homosexual. And it's real creepy to hear him actually talk. Now, having said that, his face, he looks a lot like Jon Stewart. So I'm excited about the way he looks as Jon Stewart. I hope he's able to be Jon Stewart. Yeah, not Jon Stewart. And not Jon Stewart, I said. Damn, I like my comments there. Why is this a problem? Like, why are people like barking down my snorkel over this? I do not understand. Anyway, that's it. Like, I got to hear myself say that. Now, you might think, Ethan, this is terrible. Like, what the hell? Surely now everybody hates you on the left, but maybe the right appreciates you. Maybe the right does. But no, the right does not. We got Matt McGloin coming after me, too. Matt McGloin from Cosmic Book News. I mean, this is like JDA. Like, this is like Cosmic Book News now coming after me. Ethan Van Sciver defends James Gunn's Lanterns. You got to be kidding me now. I can't win. So I am a stranger in a strange land. All right, hold on. Let me read this here. Ethan Van Sciver defends James Gunn's Lanterns. Now, here's a drawing of Hal Jordan I did. It's okay. It's not my favorite. Here's this guy here. He's Hal Jordan. He's like, what? He defended James Gunn? Even I'm not going to defend James Gunn. Okay. While fans wait for Cyberfrog 3 and Rainbow the Brute, years in the making, former DC Comics... What is wrong with Matt McGloin? When did Matt McGloin become Yellow Flash? What is going on here? Ethan Van Viral says, notice that happening. I'm everywhere right now. Oh, it's kind of dope, says Gibber too. I agree. I really like the way that... See, this is the thing. I am right about this. I'm right about this show. You can either join me now or you can join me later. But, you know, understand, I know what I'm talking about. It's Matt McGroin. I used to say that. I used to go, Matt McGroin. Anyway, this is back a long time. All right. Surprisingly, question mark, defends James Gunn's Lanterns. What the fuck is wrong with people in this space? Van Sciver was known for his stellar work on Green Lantern with Jeff Johns, but reportedly parted ways with DC Comics over politics. Van Sciver would go on to spearhead Comicsgate, quote unquote, a movement within the comic book industry that would showcase independent conservative comic creators via crowdfunding. That's true. So Van Sciver coming out in public support of Lanterns is sort of surprising to fans, as the show was created by the likes of James Gunn, who was allegedly a pedo. You know, I don't think he is, though. I think he was just joking, like Vito. Tom King, fuck Tom King. And Damon Lindelof, who I don't care what you guys say. I understand he's a little like leftist twink. He did Lost. I loved Lost. I loved it. I enjoyed Lost. You guys can say, cry about it. I love Lost. All of whom are considered woke. That's okay. Everybody is woke. Detractor Android 33 says, Ethan, Aaron Pierre is a faggot. Also, Ethan, I'm excited about the way he looks. Yeah, you catch that? Listen, might have been a more interesting article if somebody was a little bit more imaginative like you, Detractor Android. All right, now hold on a second here. Let's see them speculate. Like, why? Why might I have liked the trailer? It should be said that Van Sciver may be getting a paycheck for the certain use of characters via royalties, as rumors offer that Atrocitus will be appearing in Lanterns. Those rumors are absolutely, and by the way, he put Atroticus. will be appearing in Lanterns. Van Sciver co-created the character with Jeff Johns. There's no reason to think that, man, because the guy that we thought was going to be Atrocitus is in the trailer. He's a gang leader. He's not Atrocitus. He's not the voice of a big pink-skinned, red armor-wearing monster. He's a gangster. However, this is also very important. Doesn't mean getting paid swayed Van Sciver's opinions. Thank you for saying that, at least. God, my work is so legendary. It's just electric. What did Ethan Van Sciver say about the Lanterns? Can't you at least just say that, like, I called Aaron Pierre a faggot? Like, can't you just say that? By the way, like, he did say that Lanterns was good, but he also called Aaron Pierre a faggot. Like, that would be okay. Like, why wouldn't you say that? Following the trailer release, which even saw legendary comic book artist Alex Ross seemingly express disappointment. That is not the case. Van Sciver took to X to fire back at the backlash, and the recently surfaced video of Lindelof joking, no one laughed, that the green title in Green Lantern is stupid. Sometimes we make jokes that are not so funny. First, the Sean Gunn burner account responded to fan complaints. He says, couldn't be more obvious that this is a joke. Now, hold on. Let's play this video here. This is Lindelof joking. David Lindelof mocking Green Lantern resurfaces amid Lantern's backlash. All right, where is this video here? Where's the clip? Oh, here it is. Are you ready?
So you just announced a Green Lantern show. It's called.
By the way, like, men behaving like women is a thing now. It really is. Like, this is why I lost give me blue balls, says Marby Dog. Yeah, but it was like it always did. And there was something about it where I was like, wait, what? Like every single episode until the end. And I was like, wait, what? And that was it. And people tried to explain to me what the end meant, and I was like too stupid to understand. Guys behaving like women, like, so like you have like a Green Lantern, like something? So you're like gonna do a Green Lantern thing, or like this is Hollywood. It's impossible for Aaron Pierre to not be what I said he was. And I'm not saying that he is. Like, he probably is not a homosexual. But what I'm saying is, you're around these people all the time. I think about what they did to Cowboy Dave over at Lucasfilm. That guy should, by all, like, you look at him and you go, that guy should be a man. He is not. Now, I was with these people too for a long time, and you've heard the results. You listen to my early YouTube videos, and I'm like this. I talk like this because I'm around these people. And this is how they talk. They're gentle with each other. Secretly, they're catty and stabbing each other in the back all the time and, like, talking shit. But, like, hey, how are you doing? Are you okay? Like, this is how they are, okay? This is the thing. Being away from them has been very, very healthy. But I've seen friends who, like, previously, like, grew up in, like, tough towns and go to Hollywood, and they stay there for about 5 years. You know, Tom Taylor's one. Tom Taylor was, like, a tough guy, man. Now he's wearing, like, rainbow flag Superman logo T-shirts and everything. He's like, hi, everybody. Hello, New York Times. Yes, I'm making Lobo gay. Things like that. Now, that's just what happens with these folks. So watch this guy. I mean, just watch, like, the mannerisms. Like, this is Hollywood. This is what Hollywood is like. There are no tough guys in Hollywood.
So you just announced a Green Lantern show. It's called.
That's just that, like, bothers me. So you just announced the Green Lantern show, and, like, who talks like that? What kind of man talks like that? Here we go.
Called Lanterns because we all agreed that the green was stupid. So
Right.
So now it's just Lanterns.
So Green.
He was kidding. Everybody is focused on this. Can you imagine them getting together and going, we're going to do a show about Green Lantern, one of the most iconic franchises at Warner Brothers, at DC Comics. And we're just like, we just think green is stupid. He's kidding. He's not serious. He's not serious. He's just joking. As you can see, he's wearing a green T-shirt. He's sitting in a green chair. He's wearing a green baseball cap. He thinks he's being funny. All right, let's watch him laugh.
Lantern.
Yeah, see, he just told a joke that, like Smiller might, like Mike S. Miller had the same kind of sense of humor as Damon Lindelof. Like, he would tell a joke, it wouldn't land, and then he would have to laugh at himself. Like, he'd be like, I'll give myself that laugh then. Very similar.
The lantern. So you can make anything you can imagine.
That if you have this magical ring,
Right.
Yes.
And the fights are still close.
Yeah.
That's like such a fucking Paul Lynn take there. This guy, that's so funny. All right, very good. I like both of these guys. I don't care. Let me see. Another user replied, "Do you ever get tired of making a fool of yourself defending these people?" And he said, "No, I'm unconcerned with what people like you think of me. And frankly, I'm almost certainly smarter than 99.9% of the people that think I'm a fool." I don't feel that way myself. Like, I don't want you to think that I think that I'm smarter than everybody. And so it doesn't matter that you don't like my take on Obi-Wan. Like, it doesn't matter. I don't want you to think that about me. That'll make me unrelatable. I don't think it was funny. I think it was stupid, says Adama85. Yes, it was stupid. But there's a reason why the show is called Lanterns, and it's not because green is stupid. You know what I mean? He just said that because the next question would be, well, why is it called Lanterns and not Green Lantern? And then he would have to answer a question that would be a spoiler about the plot of the show. So rather than do that, he made up a stupid joke. You understand? That's why he did that. And then he had to laugh at himself. And now Nerdrotic is making videos. That's when Ethan Van Sciver chimed in with his 2 cents and blasted the internet. 100% this. I'm so tired. This is my tweet, by the way, that's circulating now. That has made me a hero on Reddit, of all places. 100% this. I'm so tired of arguing with the internet, defending basic shit from people determined to be victimized by pop culture and being greeted like Ann Coulter on the Bill Maher show when she said Trump would win back in 2015. How many of you in the chat remember that? Do you guys remember when Ann Coulter was on Bill Maher? And Bill Maher said, well, out of the current Republican candidates, who do you think has a chance to win the presidency? And she said, out of the ones we got now, Donald Trump. And the audience erupted in laughter at her. And she was like, I didn't know I was being funny. Do you remember that? That's because Ann Coulter is really, really fucking smart, and everybody else in the world is a fucking retard. And that is true. I mean, it's just like sometimes you have an unpopular opinion that is correct, and everybody else is just wrong, and they're going to mock you for it, and you should just stand your ground. That was like an important moment. He continued and defended Lindelof. Lindelof was joking. I'm not defending him. I'm pointing out a fact. Lindelof was joking. He doesn't think green is stupid. He said that as a provocative joke to anger nerds. How could the guy making a show about Green Lantern think the color green is stupid? Grr. Former DC artist added, the show is called Lanterns. Now, here's the thing. The show is called Lanterns because it will also introduce other colors on the spectrum, at least yellow. Ethan then went on to offer his thoughts on the show and may have even revealed insider info. Does Ethan know insider stuff? The show looks great. It looks like it's being taken seriously as an adult drama mystery first, then a superhero thing second. Obviously, they're holding back the green constructs and superhero stuff in this trailer. Sinestro is in every episode, according to IMDb. He's in 8 episodes out of 8. We don't see him in these 2 minutes. There's a reason for that. They're holding their fire. Ethan even thinks Lanterns is bound to win awards. You're kidding me. A show on HBO by Damon Lindelof winning awards? What? What is Ethan, fucking crazy? Compares it to Barbarian and Weapons, very specifically Weapons, and True Detective, which shares the same showrunner. I have a feeling the show will win Emmys. The cast is solid, and it is. They seem inspired by Zach Kreger and Nick Pizzolatto. We're in for something substantial, folks. Wait and see. Zach Kreger, because he did a movie called Weapons. And what was Weapons? I mean, you all saw Weapons, right? Here's what I think the story is. And you guys, it might turn out that I'm wrong, but I don't think so. What were the weapons? The weapons were the kids in the town, right? Spoiler if you haven't seen hopefully you've seen it by now. Kids in the town that were taken. And they were taken by one central figure in the town, right? Like a supernatural character that arrived in the town and hypnotized these kids and then used them as weapons. So you go, well, what does weapons mean? Like, what is that? Well, you don't know until you see the movie. And then even after, you have to wait until the movie's over, I think, before you fully understand why the movie is called Weapons. I think this show is the same. I could be wrong. I think Lanterns doesn't refer to Hal or John, but it refers to the townspeople. And I think Sinestro is at the center of the mystery. I think Sinestro is controlling them, and I think they are the equivalent of what would be, possibly might become, the Yellow Lantern Corps. This town. I put my shoe back on. That's what I think is going on. That's why I think it's called Lanterns, which is why you can't go, well, why didn't you call the show Green Lanterns? Because he would have to answer a plot point about them. Now, even if I'm wrong, it's something like that. And that's why he could not answer the question about, Green Lanterns. Well, where's the word green? Oh, green's just stupid. That's all. That's why we didn't put it in the title. And then he ended up pissing everybody off, which is pretty funny in and of itself. Let me look at Super Chats here. Doc Brewski says, latest rumor is that you paid off old Indiegogo brass to keep campaigns going. That is why you don't want to use the new Indiegogo. Student of Gay was sharing a vid of some dude on Bancroft stream saying it. Well, that is fabricated and completely incorrect. That is imagined. There is nobody. What do you mean keep campaigns going? They're still going now. Campaigns are still up on Indiegogo. Some student of Gay was sharing a vid of some dude on Bancroft stream. If that were true, who would know it other than me and then like the guy at Indiegogo? If that were true, I'm just saying, if it were true, how would anybody know that? This is why this is bullshit. You think I would tell people that was the case? How would anybody have that knowledge? You think I would share that with anyone? It's retarded. No, Indiegogo was cool. Indiegogo was an open platform that would just say, go ahead, put up another campaign if you want to. Wasn't a problem. It wasn't difficult at all. Andrew Wyatt says, Ethan, you need to put those AI talents to use and redo these interviews to make the creators say what EJ, Drinker, and Roddick want them to say. Okay. I ate Whoopi Goldberg's queef. Says Rosie O'Donnell is a giant gaseous clod. I said it. Yes, you did. No, and you made me say it too. Drayako says Lost is worth watching for any would-be writer simply for how masterfully they juggled a large main cast and story arcs. Lost, give me blue balls. Yeah, I know. I think it was meant to, though. Trashcast 250 is going to be great, says Clipaverse. It's going to be a long time before we get there, but we're going to get there. And I think we're on our way to Trashcast 250, if you know what I'm saying. All right, so real quick here. Reddit is very happy with me. Ethan Van Skyver. Now, these people hate me and they call me a bigot. I'm not sharing. Why not? There it is. Can I share Reddit? Is that a problem? That shouldn't be a problem, right? Yeah, Ethan Van Skyver. Why there's no green in the Green Lantern teaser trailer. These people ordinarily call me a bigot. They call me a monster. They still do. But they really like my theory for some reason. Oh my God. When the worst person when that feeling when you agree with the worst person hold on a second. Let me see here. Sinestro being in every episode is quite a big revelation, isn't it? Big if true, says Deej. But is it true, though? After becoming one of the most controversial internet personalities, Penis Van Skyver? My name isn't Penis, it's Evan. I mean, Ethan. Have gotten inside information about the show that no one except the producers, directors, cast, etc. worked on it have. Does he still have friends at Warner Brothers DC? I would say yes, I do. They do call me Penis Van Skyver, though. He still gets royalty checks from DC, so he probably knows some stuff. I love this. Ethan didn't create Sinestro, so he wouldn't be paid for that. In fact, he wouldn't get any payments unless something he had a hand in creating was used in the show. Of the characters mentioned, Atrocitus is the only one. And I don't know if he did the design. Of course I did. And the name and all that stuff. Yes. Here's the thing, though. And we don't discuss this. Hold on a second. Thomas Fitzpatrick says, but I've been calling you Penis since 2016. Here's Johnny Rocket. Hail Penis Van Skyver. You could it's okay. You can call me Penis if you'd like to. That is fine. Some of you actually probably would like to, huh? Yeah, guys, ladies. Atrocitus is the only one. I did do the design. Here's what we don't talk about in Comicsgate. We don't discuss this, but it is true. Shane Davis was the second guy, I think, to draw Atrocitus. Shane Davis had to work for my rough drawings and refine them. And so I would say that Shane Davis is the Dick Sprang of Atrocitus. Like, Shane Davis is the guy who made Atrocitus look the way that he does. But we don't talk about that because Shane knows that he, does not get any credit. He didn't create Sinestro, but Chuck Dixon once talked about how in Batman, these guys are all like, imagine, it's possible the EVS could have been compensated for some story element related to Sinestro in advance, guys, or perhaps a design element he was involved in. It's also possible that they simply gave him a preview, considering Gunn brought out a ton of creatives related to Superman for the set of the movie once. Yeah, run with that. I have a DVD here, and it's a preview of Lanterns, guys. I was given a preview of it. Oh, imagine if they believe that. I love them just trying to figure out like how I would know something like this when all I did was read IMDb. I mean, all I did was go to IMDb and go, what, Sinestro's in this? How come he's not in the trailer? Huh. He's in 8 episodes? 8? Is that true? Is that accurate? Maybe it's not accurate, but it says he's in 8 episodes. Interesting. This is just me taking information that I have, watching the trailer closely, and coming up with my own theories, and I'm blowing these people's minds. Jim Starlin got compensated for KG Beast. If I remember correctly, he did design the Sinestro Corps logo, so he gets a royalty for that. No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't, and I should. And you're right, Plenty Indication 41. You would think that I would, right? I designed a logo. I came up with the idea for a logo that ended up on about 1 million t-shirts and that's been in movies and action figures and toys and video games. I came up with that logo. Oh, yeah, I should get a little something for that, shouldn't I? Nope. And the reason why, DC goes, oh, listen, Ethan, if we have to pay you for that, then we got to pay everybody for the Superman, the Batman logo. Then pay them. Pay me and pay them. Pay me and pay them. Why don't I get a royalty for the, or don't pay them and just pay me? I don't care. No, I'm standing up for creative rights. No, pay them. Pay them the money that they deserve. That Superman logo is everywhere. It's everywhere. They deserve billions for that. How much money do you generate as a company by throwing that Superman logo on everything? You must make a lot of money. That's just free. That you get to keep all that. Somebody else designed that. Somebody else created that. The Batman logo, that's cool with you to just. And then I create this, and because those guys are getting fucked, I get fucked too. I don't like it. I only like to get fucked by Mrs. Van Sciver. I don't like to get fucked by Mr. Warner Brothers, if you know what I'm saying. What do you think I am, Aaron Pierre? So pay me my money. F you, pay me, says Anonymous. I will say, I still say this is an attempt to generate interest in Lanterns. From the rage bait green French fry basket to using EVS to chum the waters. You think I'm being paid? I'm not being paid anything. You're right, I should be. People are all suspecting weird things here. It can't just be simple. It has to be that I'm paying off somebody at Indiegogo. It can't just be that Indiegogo used to be kind of loose and used to just kind of say, yeah, whatever. Yeah, launch it. Our platform's yours. Just we're going to take 7% from you. Okay, that's fine. No, I have to be paying someone off. Like that totally makes sense that I would completely do that. And there would be some kind of weird payola happening there. And it's just me, I guess. Like, even though everyone is capable of doing that. And then also, like, I can't just say, why is Ethan saying he likes this Green Lantern trailer? That's weird. Somebody must be paying somebody. Hey, this is some great press and promotion that Ethan's getting, being called the devil, being called Hitler, being called a bigot for calling Aaron Pierre a faggot. And then he comes out with, like, some information that he gleaned that he's speculating about. He must be, he's generating interest. He must be. Yes, I should be getting paid for this. Why am I not? Penis needs money. No peace until EVS gets paid. Thank you, Captain Kirk. Yeah. Ethan does not want to get fucked, confirmed, says Max Clammer. Not like that. I would like to be gently made love to by my wife, not fucked by a corporation. And maybe not necessarily gently by my wife. Okay? 1.1K watching at 2/3 at least are a bit fruity. That's normal though, Sarangus fungus. Justice for Ethan, says brain stays awful. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Nigel goes, you know what? I'm going to go watch Mint Stream. Let's go watch Mint Stream. Mint Stream is over. You're dealing with my problems now. Help me right now. I'm still here. Okay. I've got problems. Mint's problems are done. She's finished. Besides possible royalties, they might have given him a preview. A lot of good theories here. This is my favorite. Maybe he's friends with Tom King. Maybe I'm friends with Tom King. Maybe the guy who tried to destroy Jay Lee because he did a cover for me is secretly my pal. You don't know because Tom King's a spook. He's part of the CIA. It could be true. They're always trading sides over there. Anyway, who knows? But they're just like, ugh, I agree with EVS on something. Stop clocking all that, I guess. Yeah, for you son of a bitch. Wow, says Cicada Mania. Wow. Yeah. Hey, Mint Salad, how are you? Yes, no, they're Mint Salad. They're going, let's go watch Mint Stream. I'm like, your stream's over. You stay here. You tell everybody to just stay here. It's ridiculous. I've only just begun to get angry. Got Robert Meyer Burnett here. Of the Zeroverse, I believe. Who is Robert Meyer Burnett? Is he in the Zeros? I think he is, right? Now, there are some people, there are some organizations. Did he just fucking say that? Says Cool Breeze. Can you believe it? There are some people in the Zeroverse who I like. And these people, like Robert Meyer Burnett, perfectly reasonable, perfectly normal. I like him, you know. We could probably stream together. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, he's a consultant to the Zeros. He's John Campia's friend. Says John. Oh, John Campia, very well-respected shill. Thank you, he says, fingers crossed, because DC Universe Daily is out there, like, using me as, like, a reference. And by the way, and I do think there's something to this. People are going, you know what? Like any port in a storm, like people are destroying the Lanterns trailer. People hate the Lanterns trailer. It's not green enough. It doesn't look like Green Lantern. Oh, you ruined an opportunity. Like everybody is saying this. And then over here, you got little old me who doesn't give a fuck. And the only thing I'm saying is, oh, yeah. Okay, I'll watch that. That looks good. That looks pretty good. And then I get used as the focal point of like why, yeah, Ethan said this though. You guys are saying this, but Ethan, Green Lantern artist of tremendous renown, Ethan Van Sciver, he says that it might be good. So the show looks great. It looks like it's being taken seriously, says me. And it's something DC Universe Daily tweets this out. Robert Meyer Burnett likes it. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. When are you going to realize this? Do you understand? I'm the guy who thought this man might be a faggot. Why are you listening to me? This guy is clearly heterosexual. Look at him. Handsome. Look at that smile. I love the Green Lantern, says Fugman4. That's how Gorilla says, you know what, Ethan, you're everything but little. Here's Leon K, who says, you know, Robert Meyer Burnett is frequently on Drinker's Open Bar, NFNT. Well, why can't he be on my show? Why can't he be here with me? Brian999 says, attaboy, Ethan, thank you for the encouragement, as I just fucking go headlong into a deep, dark pit, a chasm of despair, with everybody piling on top of me, calling me names. Destro says, please, God, change the subject. I'm not there yet. I'm not done yet. I'm not done crying yet. When I'm done crying, I will let you know. Got Yellow Flash talking about me on the other stream right now. Yellow Flash. All I'm doing is I'm behaving myself. I want you to know I'm out here behaving myself. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm tweeting good stuff. I said burning through Rainbow the Brute pages. I posted 2 Rainbow the Brute pages. Couldn't be more innocent. And you guys see me do it too. I wake up at 6 in the morning. I turn on the camera. And then I'm like, hey, everybody. Dean Cain was the worst Superman, says Sir Angus Fungus. I just hit dislike for Yellow Flush. You're his thumbnail. Thank you for hitting dislike. Yellow Flash. Ethan behaved himself since when, says Donut Gambler. Yellow Flash has 1.1 people watching. 1.1K people watching. How many do I have watching? Do I have 1,000? Guys, Ethan said not to report Flashcast for bullying. I want to repeat this. Do not, if he's over there making fun of me for being fat, that's against terms of service, guys. That could get his channel shut down. If he's calling me fat, that's bullying. You can't make fun of somebody's appearance, okay, their physical appearance. So if he's doing that, that's bullying, and it's against YouTube's terms of service, but it's really important to me that you do not report him for bullying. Do not do it, guys. I have said, I have the same. Guys, do not report him for bullying, okay? Because he thinks that that's what I'm saying. That's accurate, but it's unfair, right? That you could read the terms of service, and it says, you know what? Fatzos like Ethan, you're not allowed to comment on it. You're not allowed. Really? I thought that was the internet, says Daniel. False flagging. It's so funny. Well, he's a meanie. Yeah, he is a meanie, guys. Why don't you leave me alone? What did I do wrong? I didn't do anything. No bully Ethan for me. And that goes the same for you guys, too. Bullying kills. Thank you, miss. I'm very sensitive. Ethan, you going to read those super chats you missed earlier? What super chats did I miss? Hold on a second here. Here's a big one. Wasn't RMB the one who flipped out and yelled at Tom Connors? Oh, yeah. Over him not watching before crying about something? Or was that someone else? Yeah. That was great. He had he started yelling and screaming. That was RMB, Robert Myers Burnett. White Guy McGee says, back in the big leagues after destroying Eric? I guess so, White Guy McGee. Look out below. Here comes my mainstream comic book career. What is this? Jose M. Can you play Big Bad Booty Daddy, which makes fun of Kevin? Or was that a puppeteer thing just waiting to strike you down? That was the first super chat. I didn't see this, Jose M. Let me think about that. It doesn't make fun of Kevin, though. So I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Hold on. I'm going through this and just making sure that I've read everything. Urash Mataru, was this the one that you were waiting on? The slur is human. I got this. I'm going through this, and I'm going to make sure that I've read them all. EVS, why is the effeminate Tom King involved? Oh, I missed a few here. Somewhere along the line, and I don't know what happened here, but Hollywood decided that Tom King was their man. Failing Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns no longer available for various reasons. Scott Snyder? No, you don't want Scott Snyder? Next up is Tom King. At least it's not Gail Simone or Tom Taylor. Once they start going to Tom Taylor or Gail Simone, then you know that they've fucking reached the bottom rung of the ladder. Sport Nugget. Can't wait for Trashcast 149.241 592 653 589 793 238 462 643 383. That'll be a while. Like, what do you mean you can't wait? You're going to have to wait. Like, that's crazy. You'll get that right about the time that you get Rainbow the Brute. Yeah, look at this. EVS reacts to a trailer equals multiple articles attacking him. Zeros react to a trailer equals a whole lot of nothing, but CG is dead, right, guys? Slagless, no, it's just that I am eternally relevant. And what I say matters because people, why? Why does it matter? Shouldn't matter at all. Not a bit. The Tractor Android 33 says, I'm afraid you've caused Aaron Pierre to go to gay cry. Oh, shit. How is this a situation? How is this situation the big news of the industry, says Urash Mataru? I don't know. What's the next print? Give us a preview, says Comment One. I haven't decided yet. I'll probably decide around Wednesday. But right now, at this moment, you can go over there and pick up the current print, which is on my eBay store. And it is a Cyberfrog print. It's really nice. I hope you'll go over there and pick it up. Here it is. How many of these do we have left? We should have, out of 100, looks like we've sold 57 of them. So we should have 43 of these left. Don't miss out your chance to get this signed and numbered Cyberfrog print. James Gunn is a creepy weirdo. Goes perfect with Aaron Pierre. Didn't that video happen weeks ago, says Urash Mataru? Yeah, it's like December that happened. Because I'm wearing a Christmas hat. So it's like December. Idris Elba should be Jon Stewart. Agreed, Lord Tammons Comics. He'd be great at it. Yeah, you were right. Urash Mataru, you were actually right. I did miss a bunch of super chats there. Wow. You were right. Okay, what was I talking about here? Oh, yeah. Okay, so anyway, Yellow Flash. Now, I do nothing wrong. You guys know this. I've been sitting here every morning I wake up. Every morning I wake up. And I say there are people out there right now who are being reprogrammed by retards and pedophiles to believe that, like, they're never going to get their comics from me. Just because, like, I had a rough year. I'll be honest with you. 2025 was a rough year emotionally for me. And for reasons which I think you guys know. Okay. It's like my wife is ill. And it was a very difficult year. I was walking around in a daze. I think I'm better now. And I think I'm pretty focused and kicking some ass. But I can't admit to any weakness or any problems at all or any feelings because they become like memes. So I kind of said, guys, I'm limping a little bit. And people, oh, Ethan's limping, huh? I meant emotionally in my heart. Oh, he meant emotionally in his heart. So I'm not allowed to have, like I can't have emotions. Ha ha ha, Ethan has emotions. And that's just the way it is. Like, but the reality is, like, I had a really rough year. I probably wasn't drawing at the pace that I should have, even though I was drawing every day. I was probably drawing and staring off into space a little bit and worried and stuff like that. But I don't know. There's something about 2026 that just feels better. I just feel good. I don't know why. It's just, it feels like a fresh start for some reason. So 2026 up and running. And I've decided that in order to combat this whole thing about, like Ethan's not drawing, you're never gonna get your books and all this stuff. It's just bullshit. What I've decided to do is challenge myself by turning on my camera. So my camera is on. I am live streaming and doing what I'm calling drama streams because people were saying you're doing drama streams instead of art stream. Drama streams. That way I can draw and talk a little shit now and then while I'm drawing. But mostly we listen to 80s music and stuff. We have a good time. We do song requests while I produce pages. And you see them get made and you see how long it takes. No confusion. This is like the ultimate form of transparency where it's like, no, you're like, if you want to participate and you want to look in on what I'm doing, you've got it. The camera's on. You can see. You even see me. You hear me talking to my wife. You hear me talking to my daughter. It's completely personal. It's all opened up to you guys. And you guys have been great. I loved it. I really thoroughly enjoy it. So we've got 2 pages this week from Rainbow the Brute. Each page took about 20 hours. And I posted them together the other day. I said, look, I'm burning through Rainbow the Brute pages. Now, I'd say if each page took me 2 days, it's not really burning through pages, but it's nice to be able to post 2 of them at once, and I'm happy to do that. Yellow Flash goes, "You should have burned through these years ago, you lazy bum. 5 years for a 48-page book. Blech. It was never about more quality. He's a lazy bum that doesn't care about his customers." Pappy Sweet says, "I see Flash is drinking again. Must suck for him being such a talentless stay-at-home husband. He is at home all day." See, this is the thing about Yellow Flash. First of all, this is all a lie, and I'll explain why. But Yellow Flash's wife goes to work. I mean, that's all I have to say about him. He can make up lies about me and weird conspiracies and stuff. But you see, I'm the breadwinner in my house. I'm the one that's working and earning a living. I'm fortunate that I do get to stay home and do so. I don't have to go to the office. I don't leave the house. For 33 years, I've made a living at my desk drawing comic books, drawing commissions, drawing posters, drawing covers for other people. That's what I do for a living. And then I started doing YouTube, and that was nice. That padded our income a little bit. Very little, very little. But it's still really nice. The important thing is I'm home. I get to see my family whenever I want to. You know, Ava comes downstairs, "Hey, Daddy." Andrea comes down, "Hey, Daddy." You know, it's all good. It's really nice. It's a pleasant thing. Yellow Flash sends his wife to work. His wife works, and he stays at home and does YouTube videos. Now, my thing is this. It'd be okay if you want to stay home and do YouTube videos, but you're spending an awful lot of time for a house husband taking shots at me on Twitter. I mean, your wife is working all day. I don't know what your wife does. I understand that, like, I think your previous wife was an East Indian cop. I'm not really sure what your current wife is. She's Latina or something like that. I'm not sure. But like, you're at home, and while she's at work earning a living, you're spending your time writing this bullshit about me. Now, Doug Ernst was talking about time management a little bit earlier. Do you remember when Doug Ernst was talking about managing time professionally? Who's paying you for this? See, the thing is, when I make fun of Eric July, I'm getting paid to do so. I'm being paid by the fine people here in this chat. I'm being paid to do so. Who's paying you to tweet this shit about me? Is someone paying you? Classic Doug, says Jarbez. Oh, man, Shane's got boo-boo belly. Oh, poor little guy. It's just kind of strange. But anyway, yeah, so 5 years for a 48-page book, and it's like, that's such bullshit. So in that 5 years, see, they talk about it as though I've only been working on Rainbow the Brute for 5 years. In that 5-year span, and everybody knows this. Everybody knows this is true. I completed Cyberfrog, 2 Wreck Planet, Salamandroid, Death Sting. These are books. Cyberfrog, Dark Harvest. And I created 34 pages of Rainbow the Brute. I created 12 pages of Cyberfrog 3. Dozens of covers and pinups. I can't even tell you how many covers and shit that I did. Meanwhile, I also published Starblade, Creed, Snowman, a few other things. Heartsick Horror I published, Cyberfrog Heartsick Horror. I produced a line of action figures, exquisite action figures, and I did it all by myself. I didn't hire McFarlane. I did it my way. I did it. And employed dozens of comic skaters with top rates to create for me. By the way, I paid them while they were doing the work. I didn't pay them. I didn't say, "Guys, can I pay you after when the work comes out and I'll give you a percentage?" I gave them top rates and I paid them as they turn pages. And that's what I've been doing. Oh yeah, and the PVC toys. Oh yeah, and clothing. Oh yeah, and the Queen Miki wants to point out the beach towel, which really was not. To be fair, the beach towel didn't take very long. I just said, I think I want a beach towel, and some people made that happen for me. By the way, did Shane try the big arch? Says Broken Good. I was going to send him one of those yesterday, but, you know. In the 5-year span, same 5-year span, Yellow Flash is lying about here. This is what he's like, you took 5 years to do Rainbow the Brute. No. I did this in 5 years, asshole. This is what I did. And I said, people should, like, he keeps saying this, people should community note him on Twitter and say, no, actually, that is incorrect. Like in 5 years, Ethan produced all this stuff. He got upset that I was saying community note him. He thought that was a threat. How does it hurt you to get community noted when you're fucking lying? What do you care? Like you're stop lying and you won't get community noted. He's currently like worried that like he's going to get false flagged and stuff. And it's like, don't break YouTube's terms of service. You should be okay if you don't break their terms of service, right? I mean, that should be all right. In the same time period, he had lit dev ghostwrite literature double ghost wrote Mighty Golden Patriot for him and made Dillard draw it without pay until it flopped at Ripicent, destroying Eric July's side venture completely. Stop drinking, yellow house husband, which is what he is. He's a house husband. He's at home. His wife's working. That makes him a house husband. Now, something kind of interesting popped up over this. Because Yellow Flash is working on Mighty Golden Patriot 2, I think, to own the haters. And so I'm not involved in this, but Art of Roy here says he made Dillard do all the legal work too. This is interesting. Official USPTO notice of abandonment, trademark application abandoned, failure to respond timely to office action regarding the Mighty Golden Patriot. Now, this is important. Like, in order to own the trademark of your comic book, which you might want to do. You might want to do that. No, not the consequences of my actions, says White Guy McGee. In order to own the trademark of, you might want to just make sure that you can own it, first of all. That's an important thing, okay? Second of all, just make sure you got to follow through on that. But I mean, once again, like Eric July, no follow through, no checkups on the trademarks, none of that. And as it turns out, the trademark's abandoned, and Art of Roy says, I don't really know. Robert Romano points out that according to the legal paperwork here, sure looks like it says dead and abandoned. There was an action on October 14, 2025. Here, applicants mark the Mighty Golden Patriot is confusingly similar to the registered mark Iron Patriot. So there's somebody else owns Iron Patriot. After that, it was abandoned. So he tried to get Mighty Golden Patriot, and they said, no, it's too close, too similar to Iron Patriot. The guy who owns that mark is entitled to sue you. And so Yellow Flash just gave up. You don't want to rename it or something like that? You don't want to? No, you just want to fucking just give up? I left it to John Dillard. All the information is here. Very interesting. It appears the mark was deemed confusingly similar to Marvel's Iron Patriot. Don't get confused by the statutory jargon. Just read the filings. So that is what happened there. He did respond, but maybe not adequately. No attorney was used. Original determination was in January 2025. He responded in April, and it was shot down again in April. So I don't know, man. I don't know how you're going to do another Mighty Golden Patriot without risking a lawsuit from Marvel Comics. Marvel Comics has the right to put Yellow Flash in a legal chokehold the same way that the International School of Ministry did to Eric July. The USPTO is actually saying outright that they will uphold Marvel Comics' predetermined ownership over the mark Iron Patriot because it is confusingly similar to the Mighty Golden Patriot. So, I don't know, man. It wasn't that good to begin with. You should probably just fucking drop it. Excited for the new Primeval Mighty Golden Patriot. That'll probably be too similar to Iron Patriot too. Iron Patriot is Norman Osborn, says Faust Fury. Why can't these dummies do a brief search before making something? Says Johan NW. Well, I mean, I would say now at this point, now is the time to change the name. That's what I would say. Because the word patriot and then a prefix and then like a superhero something or other is the problem. That is what the problem is. It's too much confusion. So very, very, very sad for everybody involved. Boo hoo hoo. But you know what? I got my own problems. You know, I'm being attacked by everybody in the media and being attacked by Eric July. who, by the way, is not shipping his books. This is weird, man. I noticed these titles I ordered in 2025 haven't shipped yet. Any idea when? This is like a big backup here. Ripazine 5, Blood Root 2, Ripazine Collection 1, Alpha Core 2, Detention Crew 1, Great War of Separation 3, Black Guy Club 1, Cursed 1, and Dirty Deeds. They're going to ship. That's a lot, man. That's a big fucking backup. Xeno4XL says, you're so humble. You're humble, Ethan. I am. Of course. July says, we gave an update via email that we plan to start back shipping a lot of the items these upcoming month. This is why we moved away from the collection model? What on earth is he talking about? Thanks for the update. I'll go back and check my emails. Does he mean back order? So that's a big warning sign. From the printer? He's trying to pass it off on the shipper? I'm confused. Why are they late? Yeah, I don't know either, man. I didn't know it was like this. I didn't know there were like this many books that like hadn't shipped yet. But that's a lot, man. That's a lot of books. You know, I'm not one to talk. You know what I mean? I'm late shipping my stuff too. But like, here's the thing. Y'all know I'm gonna be late. Eric July's whole entire business and his reason for being allowed to exist as a publisher in terms of like the fans allowing him to make shit is that it's on time. You guys buy his work because it's on time, man. It's not because it's good. He's like, look, I don't know how to make comics, but my comics will come out on time. Doug Ernst, like, man, we're really into time management over here, getting our stuff out on time. Look at this backlog. Like, what the fuck? So your books are shit and they're late? At least my books are good. At least my stuff is good. Your books are shit and now they're late. That's crazy. Bro, that's crazy. Vincenzo C, he's at it again. Now, Vincenzo C is like the number one at this point. This guy is after Rippaverse. He's something else. Ripascend is limping along. Now, Ripascend isn't doing that good either. Let me open this in a new tab and just see if I can blow this up a little bit here. Just take a look. Yeah, like Shadow Sentry Collected Edition. It's a big book, Collected Edition. Probably like a big hardcover book. Pre-order goal $10,000. That's it. Maybe you'll make 10,000. And it ends at 16,800. So let's just round it off at 17,000. 17,000. What is Ripascend even for? What is Ripascend for? You could make that by yourself, dude. You don't need Eric for that. You got to give Eric a piece of that. You don't need him for that. You can make that by yourself. 7 Deadly Sinners, Chuck Dixon. Pre-order goal, 10,000, man. Lowered expectations. Where's my lowered expectations drop? I got to get that from Mad TV. Remember that? Lowered expectations. Like a dating app for like people who have just given up on life. 10,000 now. $12,852 for a Chuck Dixon comic. Like, how in the hell are we at that point now? That's Chuck Dixon, man. I mean, you know, seriously.
None of you niggas are Chuck Dixon.
And I think that's going to be true moving forward. Because, like, now we've got what? Unwanted Michael Malice. Can't get to $10,000, $6,900. 152 books sold. You could hand sell that shit out of the trunk of your car. I mean, that is crazy. You're not Chuck Dixon, Shane Davis, says Kumar Octopus. Yeah, it's just interesting. I'm not, listen, I'm just saying, like, it is bizarre. Meanwhile, you can go to eBay right now. If you haven't read Cyberfrog, I've got this. This is the Read It All catch-up set. Every Cyberfrog comic, that you need to read is right here. You got Cyberfrog 1. You got all the in-betweeners. You got Cyberfrog 2. And then some other stuff. I put a nice PVC toy there. See these Tums sitting here? These chewable Tums? Yeah. That's I have to talk to you guys. Get some antacid. You guys call me fat. I'm like, and a bottle of Tums. You don't get that. I need it. I need that. You cannot have the bottle of Tums. I definitely need that. Me. I'd love to get that, says I. What, the bottle of Tums? No. Anyway, this is for sale. You can get the Cyberfrog print right now on our eBay store. Just go click the eBay link and run over there and get one. What the hell? Just sold another one, but what happened to the... Also, Cyberfrog limited print number 2. We've got 99 sold of those, but we made 200 of them. You can go over and get this. This has a little hibbity-jibbity on the ground there. I don't know if you care about that, but there's a little... This guy right down here, look. No. His arm's twisted behind his back. That must hurt. And then also a nice Rainbow the Brute print. Isn't that ballsy? Nice Rainbow the Brute print. Comes with 4 strawberry scented severed unicorn heads. I've only got 7 of these left. Okay. So don't be late. Like, get over there, get one of the Rainbow the Brute, because you're going to get the 4 strawberry scented. When you smell them, you're going to want to eat them, but you don't eat them because they're made of, like, you know, some kind of urethane, some bullshit. Probably kill you. Don't confuse these for the chewable antacids, guys. Me. Yeah. What? Or July. All right, hold on a second here. Thank you guys for all of your endless support. Meeting their deadlines. Or July.
Clip, and snip.
How do you personally deal with deadlines? Do you put your team map not out ahead, or do you increase workflow based on demand? It's going to be a little bit of both.
Man, you got to stop wearing that hat, dude. Please stop wearing the hat. Please. I know you're wearing it just to bother me. It's not, you know what they say? It's not a good look. Like, it literally is not a good look. That hat is like a Temu hat, pre-made Temu hat called Water. And then you put the Yaira symbol on it and you wear it on your head. Please stop. Please, I beg of you. It really is ugly.
Owning a business, man, especially when you have multiple products, it's going to have ebbs and flows. It's going to have its times where you're having
ebbs and flows. He laughs
to get shit done. There's going to be a week that's faster, a week that's slower. But, you know, as you start to figure out what that looks like.
Now, you know what it is? What it is, look at this Cyberpunk PVC toy. How cute that is. Look at him in the box. I feel like opening this, but I'm not going to. I'd like to open it and play with it. All right, let's listen to Eric.
And that's a constant thing that you're improving on. I know it's what we're improving on all the time. Like, okay, what does this look like? How many books can we do in this amount of time?
100.
How many? What can the artists? What are they capable of doing as far as their best work? This is why typically in every single artist that I've ever worked to can speak to this. But before we sign a contract,
yeah,
my first question is always going to be putting the ball in your court. Every single person that has ever worked with me on like a sequential art, worked with this company, knows this is a question I or one of my editors will ask when that we're bringing on. How many pages?
What is this, Shane? Ethan, you wouldn't know a good hat if it sat on your head. What kind of thing is that? Did you write that joke like last week? Because hats do sit on your head. Like, what, Shane? You wrote that joke ahead of time. Shane really wants the link. Shane, do you want the link or no? You do? 100 books in 2026. I'll send Shane the link, but only if he wants to come in. I saw him say, I don't want to come in. You know, he thought I was being too controversial. Shane thought I was being too controversial, so I wasn't sure that he wanted to come in here with me. But I'll send him the link. I know how he feels. Yeah, Shane Davis. I'll put it in the Ballers room. It's quicker. Shane, I'm gonna put it in the ballers room. What is up with Dale Keown? Why is he posting stuff like this in the ballers room? Relax, Dave. Don't get an erection. My name's not Dave. I know I'm Dave. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just not business like Dale Keown. All right, hold on a second. Let's get back to what were we watching? Oh, yeah, we're watching Eric and his claim to success here.
Commit to do your best work a week. Generally speaking, yeah, it'll be members. So that's where we start. Now, then I'm going to be, it's either going to work for me or it doesn't. If someone's like, I got X, Y, and Z, I can only get one page a week done. And I'm probably going to be like, well, you do great, fantastic work.
Be like, have you tried 3D assets and 3D models? Have you tried just taking from, shitty SketchUp shit and then just putting it right down on the page?
It doesn't make sense for where we're at right now or for this title that we were looking to get you on.
Are we tracking?
So I won't even hire you for the project. But once we have an agreement, like on what you think you can do, it was in your court and you committed to this with me. I'm gonna keep you to it. I have rarely had. There's been some instances where
you said you were going to do 100 books this year, Eric. That is correct. How are you doing? You said, hold on a second, EVS will be off cam asleep after 15 minutes of Shane. That is not true at all. And Shane isn't coming in here anyway because Shane says that he doesn't want the smoke. I said, Shane, come here, get all the smoke. He says, I don't want the smoke. So I don't know. By smoke, he didn't mean Eric July. I mean, like controversy.
It's a business. Deadlines don't get met, and we got to pull guys aside and say, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, we agreed to, it's going to happen. But I've been blessed to work with professional enough artists to where a lot of them don't miss that. Joe Bennett has done the most work for us interior wise. Joe Bennett has never missed a deadline. Every fucking book that he has ever done, when you see this Alpha Core cover, you're going to be tripping out. Every book that he has ever done for us, and he is one of the best pencilers.
That is true.
On the fucking planet. He has never missed a deadline.
No, he's
never has he missed a deadline. Joe Bennett's never missed a deadline.
I know, because you know what it is? He pencils like real loose. You've seen his pencils. He pencils real loose, and then you hire shitty inkers to like ink him, and they don't know what to do with him. And they just go, oh yeah, these two, like he's holding his hands together like this. That clearly means he's got 28 fingers, He just pencils real loose, man. Kind of like John Burnwood. Go fast that way. You can go fast that way. Just no satisfaction.
He does some of the best work, detailed work that you're gonna see in comic books, and we're blessed to have him here. He's incredible. This is why I like this is why the whole quality versus quantity thing, it's a fake argument. Like the best artists do both, and they always have. They're able to get great work done in an efficient manner. Joe Bennett's one of those. And but yeah, that's how I manage that as far as
don't make me say things that I'm going to regret.
I'm setting deadlines based on what the feedback that we got before a lot of times the project even kicked off. And there's going to be improvements that have to be made on our side as far as the expectations that we levy. We've had to learn a lot about ourselves there, but also again, it's an agreement that you're entering again with where you contract someone to, do some artwork for you or whatever. Like you need to get that shit cleared up day one. Don't go into day, after the fact trying to figure out. That's unprofessional.
Eric is the guy who just put out a Horseman cover where the layout is so bad and so poorly conceived that there's a character flying in the air who's covering up the letters HOR of Horseman. So it just says semen on his cover right now. See, that's the kind of thing that we're trying to avoid if possible. Like Tony Soprano might have said, that's the kind of situation that we're hoping to avoid around here. He said that to Noah, who was a black guy that was dating Meadow, his daughter. We want to be careful. We want to slow down a little bit so that these mistakes don't get through, because those mistakes erode confidence and erode the facade of quality storytelling that we want to kind of convey to our customers. Ratchild gifted 1 membership. Ratchild. Hold on a second. Coming to get you. Ooh, yeah. Pointed to a scene of angerness and greed, dominance of persecution. My mother was a queen. Unseen. How I meant to be.
Evidence of green, evidence of prosecution. My mother was a queen, I've never seen. I was never meant to be. Now I spend my time looking all around
For every cat who's nowhere to be found. People I find him. Never gonna stop searching. Gonna find every cat. Gonna travel around. Let's go, everybody. Come on. That's how. I'm here to get you. Ooh, yeah. Everybody. Guys, so good, man. All right, back to Eric. I hate to say it, we got to get back to Eric.
Figure out how long it's going to take you. You should know that shit right out the gate. Let's get the deadline set. Everybody agree to them, and then let's get to work. Let's get to work. Damn it.
Stop singing, please, says Alistair Campbell. No, I'm not singing. I'm happy.
And the work ain't easy, but it's work. If you sell I'm telling you, bro, I don't care what you do. Write, draw, make music. Doesn't matter what the fuck you do. If you're selling commercially, you've got to get, and I'm talking about it's just commerce. You are out there selling, you are expecting people to buy your shit. The work's got to get done. There's no way around it. I know that people in creative industries, I dealt with this in music, Jesus Christ. A lot of people think you operating on their fucking timeline and they alone. Like they're the God's gift to the fucking world. And when I get to it type shit, you're unprofessional. You're probably not gonna be able to it's not a sustainable model, nonetheless, and you're wrong.
Nonetheless, and
the people that are being served here, it's not the customer serving your ass, it's you serving the customers.
You
got to get the work done.
Customers. That's what art is all about.
No way around it. You got to get the work done. So having those expectations, setting them and agreeing to them is vital to running, especially a publishing house. And we can always improve. Like people see us and they're like, yeah, those guys are efficient. They're getting books out. There's a lot of improvements that we can make. This is how we're able to pick up volume because there was still
a lot of Roy goes, she's really mad at you, Ethan. Who is Eric is? Referring to his art as shit. You got to get people to buy your shit. Oh, yeah. I know Eric's mad at me because he posted a big, long fucking essay about me. And everybody turned me on to it. Said, Ethan, I don't know if you've seen this. I guarantee anyone Eric worked with in the music industry couldn't stand him because he spewed out crap while they were trying to make actual art, says Mr. Stephen Rockwood. Somebody told this retard that he's in a position to lecture talented, gifted, professional, and creative people. And that's what he does now. He sits on YouTube in front of his shitty fucking generic-looking superhero posters, and he lectures people all day long about what they're doing wrong and what he's doing right. And meanwhile, it's like he's lost 97% of his customers. His business is in the toilet. Pretty sure he's had to lay off all of his employees. Now he's got work for hire, contracted folks making comics with him, and he's still sitting there lecturing people. Yellow Flies, that plowman I had really misses plowing, said Jirash Mataro. Creative works equal widgets. Got it, says Comic Book One. Yeah, don't be mad at me, dude. Look at cover A of Unwanted, says Eric Huffles. Where do I find that? Hold on a second. Why? Is there a reason? Rip verse. Rip send. Unwanted, a tall tale of the old west and the new wave. Yeah, come on, Eileen. Ethan, your singing infuriates me. Where can I see this cover? I just see the same cover where it's Lyle Lovett and Dolly Parton looking in the mirror together. And then there's this, which just looks like kind of a shitty book cover. I don't know. I don't know if that's a... Imagine wanting it all. I want it all. Well, we all want it all. Is there something I'm missing here? Lyle Lovett. That is cover A. That's cover A. Who's buying this? Should I click it? All right, hold on a second. Let me go up here. Yeah. View more. View more. Cover. Choose your cover. I choose cover A. Now let's see if I can open this in a new tab. Yeah, this is another Kanan. Poor Kanan has to do all the covers here. Oh, it's just hideous. I mean, that's hideous. Like Kanan drew white people the way I draw black people. I mean, that is just fucking a nightmare. That's cover B, the other one. Okay, hold on a second here. And I'm coming to get you. View more. And then let's get this one here. For B. We'll open this in a new tab. Unwanted. Oof. Tall Tale of the Old West and the New Wave by Michael Malice and Andre Sirigar. I mean, you know, like zoom and enhance. Is there something I'm looking for here? All right, I will zoom. Let's get closer to this. What am I in the middle of the street? Yeah, I guess great art does take time after all. Yeah, it just isn't good, guys. It just isn't good. You ever see the movie Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield? Eric saw the economics scene and didn't realize the professor in that scene was a fool. Yeah. All right, let me get back to Eric, who is on time.
Still room to improve. Mo Zamboni, what's up with you? Says it's all about the hustle. You either go hard in the paint or get the fuck out. That's the bottom line. Doesn't matter what you're doing. The work's got to get done. Look, the rise of social media created a class of people that think they can talk themselves into success. And I guess in some ways, if you're just talking about that from a marketing standpoint,
Shane Davis.
Yeah, if you're talking about that from a marketing standpoint, what does that even mean?
I don't know. Hold on a second. Ethan, are you going to address the allegations? What allegations? What's going on now? Are you watching Yellow Flash?
Me?
Yes.
I was at the beginning and then I got bored.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys can ask questions. You can't say address the allegations. I don't know what the allegations are. You guys will have to say, well, you know, what is this? They're making
allegations. That's with all caps right there, man. That's serious. That means there's serious allegations. A lot of allegations coming from the chat though lately. Hit videos that Fagatry's doing. They're out to get us.
Says that you tried to molested people. I did? Who?
That's a big allegation.
Yeah, it sure is. Anybody want to step forward and say that I tried to molest them? Andrew Wyatt says, I wonder what happened. Good Joe Catapano, the Star Circuit comic guy, was the original artist for Michael Malice. Really interesting.
Yeah, I remember that for some reason. I've had Joe on. He's a nice guy. I've met him at cons and stuff. I remember him telling me he was working with him, and then I was surprised when he wasn't. So it made me wonder, is there another Michael Malice book that Joe's working on? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That Michael Malice book looks like a mess, honestly. First of all, why is the comic cover covered in words, has an elementary school book border? That border looks awful. And horrible art that covers about 1/10 of the page. Not really good. It just wasn't good. I saw that cover and I went, is this like the supplemental material? No, that's just a variant cover for the same book, I guess. I don't know. Right, here's Eric.
Point, I guess. But you can't, it's not a sustainable model, right? If you are just heavily relying on talking about what you are going to do and then just never doing it, like, or taking your sweet ass time to do it because you think that you know you want to be a perfectionist about some shit. Like, nah, bro, it doesn't work like that.
It don't work like that, bro. You can't take your time in some shit because you just want to be a perfectionist and shit. Like, nah, bro, not at all. You know, I need my money.
I'm going to ask, why not?
Because Eric needs his money, ho.
Yeah. But I mean,
sitting there taking your time and shit. You can't be worried about the customer, ho. Bitch better have my money. Oh, bitch better have my money. I needs to get paid and work.
I need what's in your pocket.
Yeah, run them pockets.
Run them pockets.
I need to get paid, ho. And that's what it is. It's like, nah, you trying to make a good comic book? You taking your time trying to make a good comic? Nah, son, nah.
Well, I mean, what's the alternative? Making an adequate one? I mean, what's he selling? Like, I'm going to make adequate comics at best?
Yes. He's saying this shit's got to come out of assembly line. Shane, what you need to understand is this. There is a need. You know, during World War II, people had to work extra hard because we needed to make bullets, we needed to make bombs, we needed to make guns, we needed to make tanks, we needed to make airplanes, okay? For the war effort. Now, there is a similar war effort, the culture war, going on right now. And what has to happen is Eric July has to be like, nah, son, I needs to get paid. You got to be producing comic books for the culture war effort. Now, Eric needs to pump out 100 comic books this year. You want to make something good? You want to make something pretty, something special? What are you trying to win an Eisner Award, you homo? Nah, son. You needs to get 1 or 2 pages a day done for my shit. I got to sell this shit. So, Shane, it's a war effort. We need to conserve and produce and pump out shit so that we can beat those. We need to win.
Yeah.
We're not, there's, the culture war isn't about anything in particular because we're not anti-woke. We're just non-woke, by the way. Just non-woke. So that's, you know, but it's something. We still need to win. There's still somebody that we need to win against, I guess.
Yeah, but it's weird, like this conversation he's having, like, let's say it was a different time. You're talking about back in World War II or something. Let's just say, like, there is no newsstand. There is no real reason to make 100 comics a year. I'm not even sure DC Comics needs to make 100 comics a year. I'm not sure they can sell 100 comics a year anymore. They're selling basically one imprint, and that's absolute. So, like, I don't know. Like, Eric's like, I gotta do more comics, be more professional. Mo.
Get him out, like, buddy. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Unbelievable. We got a large super chat from Andrew White, 5147. Eric Eric Elias says, no need to take your time. Go look at Louis LaRosa's Megalith from Bad Idea. Everyone is checking for that book. Liam Sharp's book took a long time too. Same with Sean Gordon Murphy. What the fuck is he smoking? He is smoking what? Crack?
Bullshit. Yeah, I think he's trying to just cook up a narrative and control it. Like, I don't know why. Because it's like he's trying to do, like, you know, obviously quantity over quality, but it's like a weird tactic. It's like throwing more books out there isn't gonna, like, I don't know, rejuvenate this market he's killing. It's gonna kill it faster. You know, I mean, like, you can look at the fall off of his books, and a lot of his fall off, it ties in the rhythm that they've read the last book. So if he floods the market, it's with his own shit. It's like you're just gonna kill it. You know, you're just gonna bleed it out.
What you want
know,
to do?
it's weird. It's weird.
What you want to do is like put out a shitty book, and then wait a year so that people forget that it was shit.
Forget.
And then put out, then put out the second one, and then wait a year, and then people forgot. You know, then put out the third one like that.
Yeah,
that would be good if he did it that way, Shane. That'd be my advice to him.
What caused him to go into this rant? Like, what brought this on? A super chat or something?
I don't know, man. Shane, the other thing that I got to look at is he left a bizarre 20-page post on Twitter. I mean,
yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Holy
so
fuck.
Yanti was telling me today in the car, he just like stealth launched like 3 books, she said. I was like, what? Yeah, like I can't even keep up. I mean, and she said the only reason she even can keep up with it is because he has her fucking email.
Oh yeah,
like yeah. So it's like I guess he really is like just flooding this stuff out there, and he doesn't even think twice about it.
He's not even doing the same thing. Writer's Room documentary isn't a hit piece, Shane, says Josh Mataro. Chris Benoit says, I didn't do it. Ethan did. That's bullshit. I did not, no matter what Yellow Flash says. Went to a baseball game with Ethan, saw Ethan's balls. Instead, here's your allegation. That's a lie. All this stuff is lies. Let me see. Yeah, this is fucking lies. How are we tracking to get 100 books in 2026? Man, I think like it's gonna all pile up at the end, because I think in July he's gonna announce something weird, and he's gonna just be like, you know, I'm producing everybody's comics, you know.
Yeah. And here's my take on it. I don't think he's gonna do it. I don't think he's going to do it. I think he wants you to think he is that way. Like he's trying to, it's like some Jedi mind trick shit. He's trying to let everybody know, I'm not going down. Fuck you. I'm making 100 books this year. That doesn't mean he's going to do it. He just wants you to believe in him once again. And he caught traction. I mean, you know, the guy got his base ignited a little bit when he said that. But I think the reality is they don't want 100 books of him a year. You know, who wants that?
Holy shit! My thumbnail guy is so good, dude.
I'm gonna send you something in DMs.
Look at this, Shane. Look at this.
Want to pull up, or maybe I wouldn't pull it up. But I just want you to see it.
Shane, look at this. It's a Ouija board, and it's me, and then there's Eric over here. And why S? What is S? S no. Yes.
Wow.
S. So beautiful, dude.
Goodbye. Yeah. That's great. The sun and the moon. Wow. I never thought of you two like that. If you're the sun, he's the moon.
Yeah, he is. Okay. Yeah, it's just fascinating. My guy's so good, man. All right, hold on. Like nobody has thumbnails like that. Nobody has thumbnails as good as that. It's just astonishing. What are you doing? You're sending me something in DMs?
Yeah. You don't have to share it. I just was going to show it to you.
What am I looking at? So who's on the show?
Names. Look at the folder names.
Oh, yeah. That's a whole folder on me. Is that what it is? He's got a whole folder on me.
Obsessive, a high key badass, man.
Yeah.
It's
But a whole he's keeping a fucking folder on me. Are these the only 4 people that are on the show?
No. You got the normal WC guys in there.
Oh,
now.
War Campaign's on there now. What about Anna, that Star Wars girl? No.
Oh yeah. She's no, she's not.
Okay,
there.
yeah, not with War Campaign there. Okay, that's it. Yeah, it's got a file on me, dude.
A file.
Yeah.
A file.
I don't have a file on Yellow Flash. I need one though. We gotta find out who he is.
Like, I need one.
I need a counter file on Yellow Flash. All my information will be real. All right, hold on.
Get to work. Get to work. Which episode Ripper mentioned on? It's the latest Michael Malice episode, if you're talking about Joe Rogan. Latest Michael Malice episode with Michael Malice. Obviously, that's implied. When you first, some great questions coming in. You guys are amazing. We got Gizzle on Twitch side. When you first started Ripperverse, did you already know your key demographic? Ooh, good question. It's a fantastic question. Or did you find them as you release? Great question. Also, how did you key in on your demographic? One of the better questions I've ever had. Like just talking about kind of marketing and stuff. So I had a target audience in mind. And that target audience, it was 2 primary key demographics. I guess if you want to say a main demographic and a sub
Stupid
demographic
people
or
and
whatever.
retards.
The main one obviously was comic book lifers.
Oh.
And from those guys, there's a lot of disgruntled, definitely at the time of me starting my comic book company, a lot of disgruntled fans, lots of disenfranchised fans or fans that felt that they were disenfranchised, okay? But they loved comics and they loved the universe element of comics. And that was our big selling point. It was never individual characters. I know there are people that tried to levy that at us, but never, ever was our primary sales tactic was like selling just an individual character and that alone. It was always the universe. So comic book lifers that liked universes was one of them. The other was comic books. And when I say normies, I'm not using this in an insulting manner. You just have to know that not everybody is a fucking nerd like I am, or you are, or whatever your hobby is. But there are people that are intrigued by it.
Yeah.
Mainstream comics, unfortunately, have been, not unfortunately, I mean, this is whatever, it works to their advantage. They've been around for several decades. And it becomes a quite increasingly difficult. Man, everybody's leaving messages while I'm doing this, but it becomes increasingly difficult to get into that hobby because it's hard to keep up. It'd be various reasons, right? But one of the big ones that we identified. There's a lot of people that are fans of comic book characters, like concept of them, felt like it wasn't worth getting into because of, I guess, the fact that they were not getting in early. And so there was a lot that they had to catch up with, and that could have been rather like confusing for them, intimidating, if you will. And so a lot of normies who, again, are intrigued by it.
That's complete bullshit. Marvel and DC constantly are doing new number ones and reboots to make it easier for people to jump on board. Now, that doesn't mean it works, but I mean, like, he's just making shit up.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Heroes World says EVS equals humans. Look at this Black Shane Davis. Did you see this? Eric D. July equals retarded moon cricket hail CG. Now that's racist. That is just racist. Yeah. All right, here we go.
At least they maybe seen movies. They at least know of some characters and they're intrigued by it. So one of our target demographics were that type of friend, that type of audience, and that audience can be my age and younger. And so that was one of our demographics, the most that we targeted as well. And I tried to set the scene by talking about what their gripes are, right? Meeting them where they're at. You hear me say that term a lot. That's what I mean. Is you're in the customer service or in the service industry, whether you want to believe it or not, nobody owes you shit, and you're not God's gift to the customer. Okay.
Yes, I am.
You forgot to meet people where they're at. Especially if you're anticipating that they're going to reach in their pockets of with their hard-earned money and pay for some shit. So what I was trying to do was make that very clear from day one. You can go watch the Welcome to the Rippaverse video that we did before ISOM 1 launched. And I talked about all of what I'm discussing right now. So that is who I was. I identified early on who we were going to target. And that second part of your question, which was fantastic, is keying in on that demographic goes to what I was just talking about meeting people where they're at, right? You can't, I guess the most effective way to market to that person is to say, hey, I know you're a thing. I acknowledge that this precisely is the problem, or this is something that has gotten in the way of you wanting to, in our case, be a fan, become a fan of comic books. We have these guardrails, and this is our motif, or our more set of code of ethics, I guess, that lets you know we are taking this into consideration from day one. And so it made it a lot easier for those types of people to buy in. So yeah, that's all
of this is pretty easy. Like, what Eric's talking about with trying to sort of convince people to buy in. He's talking about like business dealings with people, like trying to convince people to invest and things. And really, all you really need to do is make a good comic book, and people will buy in. And they don't really need to know your code of ethics or anything like that. They're just gonna buy and read your comic book, and that's it. That's all there is to it. Eric's like, well, I did this and this and this, and that just made it easier for people to buy in. Just nonsense.
That's kind of more or less where we're at. Last question for a creative who's maybe it's come from Twitch, who's maybe planning or in production on a project. What would your advice be to them on how to key in your demo before you release, so you can at least have a plan prior to release? Well, market research is one of the greatest tools.
Market research, one of the greatest
or greatest things, identifiers.
Whoops.
If you want to get a leg up before you enter the market with whatever you're selling.
What the fuck?
A lot of people have a tendency, especially
like
in creative fields,
wet,
of flying in blind.
Shane,
so
I just can't take any of this guy.
I have this bright
Dude,
idea.
Like market research,
and
you
I
should
think
research
it's a bright
the
idea,
market before
and
you go
therefore I am
into a
going
market.
to just
Market research.
do this project and sell it.
See, what's so retarded about what he's saying is there is no market that he has reached outside of his own fan base that's directly in front of him. Like, he keeps talking about market research, and he's done everything I think that he can possibly do to reach an outside market, and he has failed. And we know that he's failed because his sales are down by 97%.
Yeah.
So there's no possible way that his market research has accomplished anything. Nobody wants his shitty comics, but he likes to just present himself as somebody who knows markets and is researching. They're just your fans, Eric. They're just people on YouTube who subscribe to you, who you have basically militarized to support you. And that's it. Like, everybody else is gone. You've just got your militant fans left. How's that market research going? It's ridiculous. All right, here we go.
I wonder if he's at the point of selling I Know What I'm Doing. Like, did he get done with that book he was writing? Like, his business book?
I mean, it's not out, but like, it's funded. You know, he got his he raised $16,000 on it. I'd love to read it. You know, I mean, I wouldn't love to read it, but I will read it. see what it says, man. But I mean, it's got to be
Now, for the
insufferable.
record, some people are going to be like, "Why are you always talking about Eric July?" I'll be honest. If Joe Quesada was up here saying something this goddamn stupid, or Dan DiDio, or whoever, Bob Harris, any publisher at any company at any point in time, Heather Ontos, anything, I would be going over it. I mean, I've never heard anybody talk about comics, lie about being a fan, like, oh, I'm a big geek like me. Yeah, Jim Starlin wrote and drew Infinity Gauntlet, your favorite book. I just, it's like, the more I that's the key to me, is that one piece of information, that fuck up he did, that tells everybody that he doesn't read comics. And then you start to see the whole scam of this, the LARPing, the give me your money, the I'm a black guy that has the conservative guys back when it comes to race swapping and whatever characters. You start to see the whole scam of it all. And
Yeah.
I'll give him this. I mean, the ship is sinking and he ain't jumped ship yet. It's really weird. To his own detriment. I mean, it's like, bro, you should have be out of this by now. Like, what are you doing? Trying to go into debt over comics? Like, do you love comics? Do you love shitty, low quality comic books to the point that you're going to go in debt on comics?
Well, like he said, your boy Zach said, like, Eric's gonna find himself in a position, should things work out to his, like, in his benefit, to his interests, he's gonna find himself with a business, a small press business, a little bit like, say, Don Chin, or like, you know what I mean? Like a small comic book business where you're selling a couple hundred copies of everything. And then that's what is going to be available to him. He's going to have to sort of winnow down his expectations and his sales and expectations. And yeah, that's where he's going to go. So the question is, like, that just seems like worse than it. Like, it'd be better just to quit, you know, at that point.
Well, okay,
Eric
the
needs to
difference
be
between
lost.
him and Don Chin, though, I really keep in mind this key that unlocks the whole code of Eric July is Jim Starlin. He said Jim Starlin wrote and drew the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
And it's his favorite comic. Okay, the guy that goes down to selling a few hundred books out of his garage or a storage unit, right?
Yeah.
God bless him. He's doing it because he loves making comics. I still don't believe this guy reads comics. Well, so then why get into the position of selling a few hundred comics out of a garage? Like, yeah, the guys that do that aren't really making money. That, I mean, if they add up their time, you know, there could be a profit if you act like it takes them no time.
Out of pride, Shane.
Dude, pride. I don't.
Out of pride.
Yeah, I don't know. I think pride takes you so far in that. I don't know if pride takes you into 10 years of debt in making comics. I don't know if you're making books out of your garage for 10 years because of pride. I think it wears off in a few years. That's just me. I don't know. It varies person to person. I just don't think there's that much mileage in pride, because how long is it before it's like, yeah, bro, you made millions X years ago? Like that, how long can you ride that scooter? He can't even look, the meter's off his campaigns right now. Why is the meter gone? Because he says he's doing something different. He's a real publisher now. So what? You weren't a real publisher this whole time?
Man, he's just, I like this because we're just going to watch this. We're going to follow it all the way down. You know, we just have to. We have to follow it all the way down. We can't give up. We can't just stop looking at it because it's too interesting, man. Like, you know, watching his collapse is way too interesting and people are invested in it. If he just walked away, if he went, you know, I'm going to move on to a music career, found a way to sort of hibbity-jibbity to something else, it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
And look, man, I talk about this shit all day long. I mean, I remember CrossGen going under. I remember Valiant going under, being bought by Acclaim to come back to go under again because they sold to some company, whatever. Dark Horse, Mike Richardson fired, right? Not a good sign, you know, for the indies and the mainstream comic book industry. it's really weird to watch. Usually there's some companies don't hang around to the bitter end, is what I'm saying. They cut bait at some point and they take what they still have and they walk away.
Yeah.
I don't remember CrossGen going down this hard. You know what I mean? I don't remember Valiant going down this hard. In some cases, a lot of these people were bought out by another company, like Dark Horse. They were bought out by that Swedish game company, right? And they fired Richardson. So I don't. This is just like I get the pride aspect. I get that that's an X factor. Like you don't know the person attached to their bank of pride, but this is still like. I mean, who is he trying to prove this to? Guys on the internet? He's going to go in depth for comic pros on the internet, laughing at his failing business.
Yep. Shane, it's going to be amazing. I feel bad, but it is what it is. All right. It's gonna.
That is
the problem is he won't stop lecturing people. Like he's still like up. Like I'm here to tell you guys a little something. Like it's really strange. Like this isn't how normal comic book people behave.
Well, okay, about that, right? Because I don't remember Dan or Joe Quesada or Paul Levitz really going out there with "Let me tell you how comics are" speeches. Now, if you work for them, that's different, right?
Yeah.
They do that shit all day long, but not to the general public. Like I don't remember. I mean, they might try to lead you into the ideas of making these interesting DC comics, these big story events, and try to fashion like they know what they're doing, but not to a point that I'm lecturing the general audience. Like if he was having this type of conversation behind like a conference room, that'd be different, right? He's got his employees. Like, does he think the general audience is his employees? Like, who the fuck is he talking to?
Yeah, he's
like
talking to them
me?
like he's talking to them as though like they want to start a business like him, or they're businesses that are competing with him, and he's got to tell them where they're wrong, or they're just like none of it. Like this is what he wants to do. Eric wants to sit there and be smug with people. It's not that he wants to have a comic book business. It's not that he wants to do anything. He wants to sit there, look at people, and tell them why they're wrong, and be smug. And that's what Eric wants. That's his whole aspiration. That's what he's all about.
Yeah. Could you imagine talking to your audience? You're campaigning books, Ethan, right? You're going to do Cyberfrog 4. You're getting ready to campaign. You got your shit, you secret tiers. You got all these stretch goals planned out. You got this big story event, maybe a new villain appearing on the cover. Who the fuck knows? You got big ideas you're putting on paper and you're about to sell it. You got to get the fans boots on the ground, let's go. And then all of a sudden you're like, hey guys, guess what? Let me talk about you are my customers. Let me talk to you about my marketing strategies for this. It's like, bro, like
it's not interesting at all. What about the
character that you can do? You do that and you can't have success. I'm sure there are successes out there of people that were just fully creating for themselves, and that was it. That being said, typically, if you want to have a more,
you don't know what you're talking about, Eric.
It's not.
You don't know.
Solidified, but typically,
there's no typically because you don't know.
It's not foolproof. But typically, if you want to see success long term,
you don't know what long-term success is.
Or success at all, you have to go in with some sort of idea of who is this for.
Yeah, who is it for, Eric?
What am I making this for?
Are you able to achieve that?
What
Have
type
you been able
of
to
person
reach
is going to be into this thing that
lifers?
And you got to identify that pretty early on, because marketing is another thing creators don't like to hear talk about. Marketing is as important as the thing that you're making, and marketing is not. There is an art.
I can't wait to buy
marketing is not. I go stream or I go get a shout out. That's not marketing, right? Marketing is a very, especially if you're gonna get bang for your buck. You're paying people to do shit.
I don't know that bigotry said.
Fago is always right. Okay, I love Fago.
Yeah, bro's got a good instinct on these things.
No, Fago was a beautiful woman, a young woman, probably I think around 25.
Yeah, she sent me a video yesterday.
No, she did not.
Yeah, she did. I'll pull it up. All right, here we go. Yeah, she sent this to me last night. I was surprised, man. I mean, you can. I shared it.
Hold on now. I'm posting the goal.
Looks
like. Okay. What am I doing? Oh, this isn't her, dude. Hold on a second. Remove. Add to stage.
It's to you. It's to you. What are you talking about?
Hi, Ethan. It's me, Fago. I have proof that Shane pre-writes his jokes. I do not have a penis or balls. I swear.
That's AI. That is not Fago. Although if it were Fago, it should be amazing. But that is not Fago. Okay. I've set a super chat goal of 10. Now, every time we get a $20 super chat, we will be saluting Yellow Flash with Erica. What other song could we use to salute Yellow Flash? Who knows? You didn't finish it, says Ruth Saunders. Yeah, I know. I don't want to set a goal. Right?
You got to have some know-how.
Got to have some
but
know-how.
It's as important.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm bringing that up is that it's nearly impossible to build a marketing plan without actually knowing who this is for.
Yeah.
Outside of yourself.
What are you
is that background
about?
green
You
screen?
don't know.
That's ice on. I just touched him.
Touched his dick. That's a weird place to touch.
Like fall down or something.
Why'd he touch his dick? He's got the whole thing to touch.
Garfield Bizarre with 10 says, remember when we were told that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction and had to be stopped? Iran is the new Iraq. No more wars, more endless spending. We lose defense contractors.
I got to talk to Garfield's Bizarre Adventure today.
It's and by the way,
the Simulated Cynic show is funny.
How'd it go?
Only you know that, right? Like, you know what your work is made.
It was just in the chat of Stimulated Cynic show. I can't even remember what I said to him, but yeah, it was like a back and forth with him. Like, he's another one. He's a weird cat. Tark says, here's a yellow. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That's nice. I thought Jeff removed Isom's dick, says Detractor Android 33. That was Cyborg. Same character, though. Ultimately.
Yeah. Why'd you touch his dick, man? If somebody's like, you're like, hey, no, that cyber frog's real. I mean, you could touch him anywhere. Why would you touch his dick?
It's not his dick, Shane. It's a picture on the wall. The fact that you put your hand where the image of his dick is not necessarily gay. It's just, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean anything. Here's 200 Watt Studios, who says, my favorite Rippaverse comic series is Marketing Tales to Astonish. That's kind of what he's doing, man. That's all he's I can't wait. Look at this.
Paid for, and you about
His face vexes me, man. It really does.
Yeah, it's and by the way, gives that's a 10 coming from Garfield Bizarre Adventure. I hope that makes sense. Before I talk about what Garfield Bizarre Adventure said, you've got to only you know that, right? Like, is you know what your work is made for, and you should be like doing all sorts of research in order to find, like, okay, what is the likelihood of people that are also going to like who I made this for? Who did I make?
Yeah, who did I make it for? Well, I made it for homos. Shane, look at this. Although I co-created some of the greatest and most important new elements of Green Lantern, some of which might appear in Lanterns by James Gunn, DC Comics did not appreciate my sense of humor. They edited too many of my visual jokes, like this shot of Guy Gardner naked. Now, I had to draw Guy Gardner naked. And so what I did, because that was what was requested of me. Tarks, wow, thank you. Oh, my God. Hold on a second. Unbelievable. Das ist sehr gut. Es ist mir leid. That is the effective Unbelievable. Thank you. I'm not saying we're going to meet the goal, but I did set a goal. Fego was awesome. So we saluted, we saluted Yellow Flash. That's who we're saluting there. So this is, what's his name? Guy Gardner naked here. And as you can see, like I put a panel here to cover his penis, which I guess would be like, you might think that it's like erect, Shane, because see how the panel goes straight out from his peen? Now, DC Comics would not let me get away with this or get away with anything. This is how it appeared in print. That's not funny at all. They took away like everything that was funny about it and ruined it. I think about this. I think about this, Shane, and I get angry inside. You know, getting mad.
Yeah, I bet they didn't even contact you. You didn't even know until after you opened the book, right?
Nobody said to me like, "Oh, Ethan, do you mind if we take away your visual joke?" Which, by the way, is not so bad. It was used in not Ace Ventura. What's the movie with the British James Bond spy comedy guy? I can't think of anything. Fuck, what is it called? Not Ace Ventura.
I don't.
Shane, he's British.
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers, thank you. So close with Ace Ventura. They made the same joke with Austin Powers, like covering his penis. Thank you. The entire chat's got it now. Austin Powers. Thank you, Austin Powers. Austin Powers.
Well, you threw me off when you said James Bond, but you're right. It is. For some reason, I never think of that as James Bond. I don't.
What do you think of it as?
No, because of the era and how he's not in a tuxedo, it just throws me off. The bad guy aspect, yeah, but like it took me a minute to register. It wasn't just me; the whole chat.
Yeah, autistic powers. Yeah, that's why it's Austin Powers, because of autistic powers. Okay, so that's the whole thing. That's the problem. Eric is retarded. I'd like to just read this to you, Shane. He posted this. He says, "So I'd like to say something." I like when he posts something. So I'd like to say something. Oh, okay. And my apologies for the wall of text. The success of Rippaverse has given me a lot of insight and perspective that I simply didn't have before. You don't say. Shane, the success of Rippaverse has made him wise beyond his years.
Big wise.
Yeah, the success of
Big
Rippaverse.
wise.
It's not successful, Eric. Stop. Just admit for one single moment, Eric, that it's not going that well. You don't have to call it a failure. I'll do that, but just admit for one single second. No, he cannot.
Can you imagine you're on the Titanic and you're like, nope, it's not sinking. Nope,
that's
it's not
how
sinking
he is.
all the way to the fucking bottom.
We're
All the way to the
unsinkable.
bottom
And
of the ocean.
I mean, this boat has taught me a thing or two about making boats unsinkable. It's like, let me tell you about it. It's so frustrating. He says, from the time I was a kid up until around 2021, what? My perspective on the comic book industry was almost entirely that of a fan. Now, Shane, this is all about me. These guys cannot stop talking about me without saying my name. And you too in this, Shane. You're in this too. I don't know if you know that. You are. It's about you too.
I can't wait.
It is about you too. All right. Now it gets to the end. First, he's got some important things to say that are inspiring. The best part is this. Let me just skip ahead to his comments from his retarded fans. That's important too. The level of honesty and introspection would be almost impossible from many of the mainline quote unquote modern writers out there. That's amazing.
Okay.
Congratulations to Eric, because this level of honesty, and we'll read it, Shannon, you'll see. Professionalism issues. Meanwhile, they employ and elevate some of the most childish, offensive assholes. If anything, that should just tell you how unprofessional that other person was, right? They're talking about me. It should actually tell you it was entirely a political blacklisting. You know what I mean? Like if they're elevating, if their whole thing is like Ethan was fired, and they'll get to it, Ethan was fired because of how unprofessional he was. Meanwhile, they're elevating other like extremely unprofessional people. It shouldn't be That just means Ethan is super duper duper unprofessional. It should be like, oh, maybe it was political. Tarks, can I get Thunderstruck AC/DC? Oh, sorry, wrong stream. Yeah, listen, I will get Thunderstruck if I play some AC/DC, but thank you for $10. I appreciate you. You're sending that over to, yeah, please play. Oh, no, I got it. I get what you're saying. Sorry. Okay. I'm slow sometimes, Shane. I'm a dope. He was pretending that, this was a draw stream, and I was taking it. Let me see. Oh, it's so good to hear. That is a level of adult thinking not everyone achieves in life. Good for you, and thank you for sharing. I'm just pumped to be able to say one day, yeah, I've been with him since the beginning. Shane, I hate them all so much. I can't even tell you. Like it's not their fault. They seem like little kids who are just entranced by this like stupid idiot who is basically everything that he's saying is self-serving agenda, oriented bullshit. Like it's all about himself. But this is just a level of adulthood and honesty. All right, here we go. From the time I was a kid up until around 2021, my perspective on the comic book industry was almost entirely that of a fan. My understanding of the internal politics of the industry largely came from secondhand accounts, like Richard C. Meyer, things shared by creators, reporters, and commentary online. But over the last few years, through business meetings, mutuals in the industry, and time spent on the convention circuit, Shane, all of this is such bullshit.
How many conventions has he went to?
Just a few. And, it's like, being on the convention circuit a couple of times has really shown.
Let me ask you an honest question. Honest question. I don't know if I've ever learned anything on the convention circuit. No. Have you?
Not really, but I mean, you do get a sense of like
fans,
commerce of the fans, yeah.
The commerce of it, yeah. But I don't go, hey, I learned this one thing from the convention circuit, and I carry that life lesson with me through my adventures of making comics.
I would say bring disinfectant for your hands. Bring that, you know what I mean? Like that's one thing that you learn from the convention circuit. Con crud is what you learn. So you should always have that kind of, like, nice to meet you. Now let me wash my hands.
Yeah. The other thing too is there's this rumor that a lot of business is done at cons. It is, but out of habit. I don't know if indie business happens a lot at cons. DC would do a lot of their plans for the next year publishing at Comic-Con or New York Comic-Con, but mainly because everybody got together. I just don't think I remember a lot of business happening at cons. Not like you think. It's kind of like for a small indie publisher, I don't need to be at a con to do business.
Yeah, you don't need to be at a con at all. But I mean, like look at what he's saying, like through business meetings. Like he's sitting there in and out of meetings with like important comic book folks, mutuals in the industry. He's trying to associate himself with people in the industry, like they're mutuals like him. Like all of his language is like, I'm part of this, aren't I? I'm doing stuff.
No, it's him going up to Jim Shooter, shaking his hand, getting recorded, and he goes at like, "Hey, I'm on the level of Jim Shooter." Jim Shooter didn't know who the fuck you were.
Yeah, of course. I went to Todd McFarlane and said, "How much would it be for you to produce my toy?" And shit. How much would it be for you to produce my toy and shit? Like that's basically what it is. All right. So, where did I go? Oh, right here. But over the last few years, through business meetings, mutuals in the industry, and time spent on the convention circuit, I've had the opportunity to meet, interact with, make love to, and even do business with countless publishers, writers, artists, and other professionals working in comics and entertainment. And that experience has given me a few big takeaways. He's just a fucking exec, man. He's just a dude in short sleeves and a necktie. You know what I mean? Who's like trying to impress the boss.
I wish he had short sleeves. I mean, he doesn't have that. He has no sleeves. He has hairy shoulders.
No. when he wore sleeves. Yes, number one, yes, there is a political bias in the industry. Oh, you discern this, Eric, from just going to 3 conventions and taking a meeting with Jimmy Palmiotti? Like, yeah, there's a political bias in the industry. Isn't that what you told all your fans? Like, everybody listening to you for like 16 years, you've been telling them, or however long it's been, that he's decided he was anti-woke before he became non-woke, and then, you know, not at all apolitical. From what I've seen, it does generally lean left. Fucking generally, Shane. Shane, it's not like psychotically left wing where, like, you know, anything Trump does gets echoed around like the fucking halls with wails like a banshee from everybody repeating each other. And yeah, it's just slightly, it leans a little. I mean, I would say it's like 49-51, or maybe like 48% conservative and 52% liberal. But it's it does lean slightly to the left.
Yeah, no, it's radical left. I mean, what are you talking about? You don't even have to go to convention to know that, Eric. I mean, the fact that you had to go to a convention to figure that out is fucking retarded.
It's really stupid. Ethan, your accent when reading his garbage is good. Ha. Oh, it is good. I'll keep doing it. I'm digging blackface, Ethan, says Kafka Fanatic. Good, I'll keep doing it then. I'm glad you're digging it. Many people who don't share that perspective tend to keep their views private, likely for the sake of job security. Meanwhile, those who feel comfortable speaking openly about their politics often lean in that direction. That's an interesting way of saying that the industry is radical left wing, and the left wing psychopaths who rule the industry bully the conservatives into silence. And it's not that they feel like maybe it's inappropriate to bring my politics to work. They're scared pissless to talk about their politics, because if they do, they will get canceled, like me, like I did. Now here's Eric July. He's going to go on. Eric is just basically excusing the leftists over there. That said, the level of persecution I initially imagined doesn't seem to be as widespread as I once believed. Shane, this motherfucker. This fucking motherfucker. At least not in my direct interactions with creators and publishers. My personal theory is that once someone reaches a certain level of success or independence, they gain a degree of insulation from potential consequences. So yeah, that's what happened to Jay Lee, right? Jay Lee, who, by the way, could anybody be more successful than Jay Lee? And, anybody be more respected as an artist than Jay Lee? But I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that Jay Lee was able to handle the narrative and be like, I was just burying my dog. Which one of you wants to fuck with the death of a dog? Anybody want to come at me? Anybody want to question me when I'm burying my beloved pet? Any of you? No, because they're all fur parents. They're all homo fur parents. Like nobody, like Jay Lee handled that like a pro. But if he hadn't handled that like a pro, if he hadn't been able to deal with that situation, he'd be out. Yeah. He'd be out, dude.
If his dog hadn't been playing in traffic, things been different.
Yeah. Good thing that no, that's not the right thing to say. You don't want to say good thing. All right, so here's Eric with his personal experience. My personal interactions with industry professionals have been overwhelmingly positive, especially in person. What a fucking sellout piece of shit. This guy is trying to get into the mainstream so bad, dude. This is like...
Yeah. I mean, look, man, making his books right now, it's got to be pretty expensive, right?
Yeah.
I've heard rumors of certain artists of his needing work. So I think he's realizing it's pretty expensive to keep making books. But what if I can continue making books on somebody else's dollar? Yeah. What if they'll hire me?
Yeah, I think that's kind of in his head a little bit here. I've had the opportunity to speak with a lot of well-known and accomplished creators and decision makers in publishing, and nearly every interaction has been respectful. Wasn't he just crying just last week about how he was being excluded from something because of his politics and things that he said? Wasn't he just doing that?
He was. I'm not making that up. I remember that. Because we were like, who is this that's excluding you? And how do we know it's about your politics? It might be about your shitty books.
Yeah, it's probably about his Adrian. Hold on. Adrian. I can't do it in Eric's live voice. Yeah, it's probably about his shitty books. Adrian, we did it. We did it, Adrian. I've had the opportunity. Okay. Many have even expressed that they wish me success and are rooting for what we're building. In fact, the only negative interactions I've had with an active professional in the industry came from a situation where I somewhat naively went to bat for someone else. Even then, we eventually had a conversation and cleared things up. What is he talking about? So I met this one dude and I went to bat with this other dude for this other dude, but then that one dude got pissed off, and so I somewhat naively went to bat with someone. So annoying. Now, I'm not naive enough to believe. He says this all the fucking time, man. This is how Eric talks. Like he sets up a straw man at the beginning of every one of his sentences and then sets fire to it. Now, I'm not naive enough to believe the industry doesn't have its share of politics or pettiness behind the scenes. Oh, that's good. You're not naive, so it does. In other words, you're saying that it does. Every entertainment industry is catty. He uses the word catty again. Fuck, he's such a... Catty
if the industry's catty, yeah, if people are catty, then what is he? He's passive aggressive. Super
passive aggressive, schemer, behind the scenes, coward, all those things. Just a fucking coward. But I can only speak to my own experiences, and those have been largely positive. They're exceptions, but they are minimal, he says. Now, here we go. Now let's get on to me, which is what this was all about. He's basically trying to say, I belong in the industry. I do well. This whole post is, I would do well in the industry. I belong there. Now, there's some people like Ethan would not belong there. Ethan doesn't belong in the industry. I do belong. I could get along with these folk. This may be the most controversial point. Because I spent most of my life as a fan outside the professional circle, like many of you, much of the information I believed about how people was treated in the industry came from secondhand accounts. And if I'm being honest, I trusted many of these stories, especially when they confirmed things I already suspected. I even created content based on accepting some of those accounts at face value. Looking back, I'll be the first to admit that was naive. Okay, what do you think he's referring to? Shane, do you think he's referring to me being canceled?
Yeah. I'm just kind of like processing this. Like, this is a lot to just try to undo. Like, it's like, okay, these are two different things, but it was just like last time I was on with you on a trash cast, like he's like, I didn't even say I was going to moonwalk on creators' graves. That was my social media manager. Yeah. And then you pulled up the clip and I'm like, it's like he's doing the same damn thing here. Like, it's like he's trying to undo shit in the past, but my brain goes, why? Like for who? Who are you doing this for? Like the mainstream? You're trying to reposture? You know?
He's trying to get into the mainstream. Over time, I've had long conversations with people inside the industry. See, people who say people inside the industry, do you think they're inside the industry? I've had conversations with people inside the industry. Dude, I thought you said they were your, what did you say that they were? Mutuals?
Well, when you say people, graves he was going to moonwalk over, I don't know what he calls them. I mean, who knows?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you're inside the industry and they're your mutuals, you don't say, I've had long conversations with people inside the industry, because you're inside the industry too.
Yeah.
This is all like fake posturing. Some some who were close to the situations and individuals involved in exits. According to them, the narratives around some creators being, quote, pushed out of the industry for political reasons weren't always accurate. In some cases, they claim it came down to professionalism issues. In other cases, I would say, okay, professional issues is me. In other cases, the departures were voluntary. Shane, that's you.
Yeah. All right. Like,
yeah.
So, and I've realized this, like, there's a big like campaign, counter movement, whatever, where people are basically trying to say Ethan wasn't canceled. That's the whole thing. That's the big thing now, is they want to say Ethan wasn't canceled, that he was hard to work with, he was late or whatever. So, and people are going to say whatever they're going to say. So first, let me just put that out there. I could pull receipts if I had them. I could whatever. It really wouldn't matter. It really wouldn't matter. I probably even have proof where I was kicked out of this room. But Comic Pros did in a back room, because I remember telling Ethan about it when it was happening on Facebook, word campaigning to get him kicked out of DC Comics. It was happening in a Comics Pro group. I was part of it because they just added me to it. And I got kicked out of it 3 times because I said things that pissed them off, because I didn't agree with the narrative of it, right? Now, some of the people weren't all comic artists. A lot of them were big-name comic writers like Scott Snyder. There were a lot of people in that room. Now, at the same time, they were bitching about, you know, like editors at DC Comics and whatever was going on, approvals of things. But they really, 2 things happened at the room at the same time. People got mad at your boy Zach for his videos at a certain point. And then people started taking issue with Ethan because of after Trump got voted in. Especially,
and I was hanging out with, I was hanging out with him too. But I'll tell you what happened, Shane. What happened was, I voted for Trump and I wore a MAGA hat, and you can see all over the internet. If you look at Twitter around that time period, you'll see people going, "Ethan is MAGA, Ethan is MAGA." I can't believe it. I didn't know Ethan was MAGA. I didn't think that like this. So in my Facebook private messages, I started to receive a bunch of messages from people who were saying, "Do you realize that your vote, like, I can't believe you voted for him. How dare you vote for him? Your vote was against my rights." And I got a bunch of messages like that from people with the fucking audacity within the industry. I'm talking about like my peers in the industry were sending me messages like that. So one of them, I finally got so annoyed. I responded to one of them like, "You know what? Hillary Clinton's a cunt and fuck you and your gay rights." And Shane, that message was exactly what they were looking for. They passed that message. Rich Johnson told me this. They passed that message around from writer to writer, including the guy who wrote that book about fucking your dog that was writing Green Lanterns. They passed it around. Rich Johnson said that, you know, he heard about it from the guy who wrote the dog fucking book. And I was like, what the hell? And they basically all unionized around this idea that we refuse, because Ethan called Hillary Clinton a cunt and said that he didn't care about our gay rights. We refuse to work with Ethan Van Sciver. So DC Comics came to me and said, "Well, what are you going to do about this? Like, all these writers are saying they refuse to work with you. How are we going to work with you?" And I said, "Well, I got this guy, I got this guy, I got this guy, I got this guy. Those guys will write for me, or I'll write for myself." Like, you know, and they were like, "Oh, okay, all right, Ethan." So then what started to happen is they started to fish around my social media. First, they followed me all around Facebook. And then they started fishing around my social media for evidence that I was a white supremacist. And then they started to share it in private rooms. So it went from the end of 2016, the election, all the way until 2018. It took a year and about 2 months for me to get canceled. But during that time period, I told one dude, I said, "Why don't you fucking kill yourself? Or kill yourself, loser." I said that. Oh my God, holy shit. Ethan's actually telling people to kill themselves. When it was an expression, it just meant go walk off a cliff. Go.
So I got kicked out of the room for that one particular comment of yours.
For kill yourself, loser?
Yeah, because what happened then, and this is when I could really, they were already bitching about you, but
Yeah.
and I may name some names here, but like they basically said Ethan can't get work anymore. And I went in to protest. I'm like, okay, so if he did something bad, I'm like, what are you guys talking about? You're not DC Comics. And I'm like, and I literally just say in sarcasm, I'm like, DC Comics could stop hiring Ethan tomorrow and he's going to continue to get paid. Dave Johnson flipped the fuck out.
He was one of the main ones who was
yeah.
behind, you know,
So
the
he's
organization.
responding to me in front of everybody in cap locks. What do you mean, Shane? And I'm like, well, they're going to pay him royalties and they're going to pay him for any characters they use. And DC Comics could quit hiring him tomorrow. And this guy's going to get paid forever. So how long is, and I go, how long is he supposed to go without getting work? And I'm like, who in here has the ability to hire or fire Ethan? What are we doing? What are you guys doing in this room? And that's when I got kicked out, probably for my second time, was pissing you know, people like Coley Hamner and Dave Johnson off.
Those guys, that whole crew, were like real strong in like reaching out and getting people mobilized. It was, and then what happened was Comics Alliance broke up, and then those pussies, those SJWs who used to be journalists, used their journalism, worked with the, you know, the SJWs in comics to create articles and everything, memes about me being a white supremacist, and then pushed back at DC Comics and said, you're hiring a white supremacist. I was getting messages back from DC Comics like, don't say anything, just relax. We know this is happening, blah, blah, blah. Do your work, keep your head down. And so I was producing work like normal during this whole period of time. But at some point, it just became the Daryl Ayo thing. The Daryl Ayo moment where he started calling me a racist that was harassing him.
Yeah.
And then Rich Johnson wrote an article in Bleeding Cool. That was it. That cut my throat. That was the end.
Now,
DC said, we can't do anything with you anymore. We got to let you go.
Now, at the time, at least for me, because I'm going to get clipped on this, for me, I didn't even know what this room was. There was one thread in this, because it's Facebook groups. People just add you to it, and all of a sudden you see shit on your timeline. I didn't enter a group. They just add you to it. I'm in another group, the conservative group, comic artist group with Ethan and stuff. So I'm telling Ethan about this shit, you know, as it's happening a little bit. And it's just crazy. And I'm getting kicked out of this room and all this shit. And to me, hindsight's different. And I didn't really know people could get canceled. Like I didn't know what was happening. But I remember saying like to them, like, we're freelancers. What are you doing? Like, we don't decide who works in comics. DC does, Marvel does. Surprise. And the one reason I kept going into the room is there was an art thread that which was super cool. You'd see comic artists put up like a half-drawn page. It was just really cool. Everybody'd say, here's what I'm working on my table today. That one thread just kept growing, and then another thread or post would happen, and it's like you, Richard, in hindsight, it's really crazy. There was an actual conversation. Why aren't we really getting more support for Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel? Like, and I'm like, why would anybody want this character? Like, I just didn't understand. And maybe I would say shit like, because it's stupid and she's got a big fist. And then I didn't realize that I was going against the grain. Like, it's so weird because the radical leftists in comics didn't say, hey guys, memo, we're all radical leftists now. They don't really tell you that. So you're already like mingling around them before like you see their vampires. It's kind of like you're that dude at the beginning of Blade and you're going into the nightclub. You think you're going to, you know, you're you're doing whatever. And then you start looking to your left and right and everybody's a fucking vampire. You know, it's like,
yeah. I had no idea. I was surrounded by my fans who were just like very supportive. And then the people who I knew at DC Comics who were my friends too. So I'm sitting there going, I don't think the blacklist is real. I don't think anything's going to happen to me. I think I'm going to be okay, but this is really uncomfortable. I'm not a white supremacist. Why are they saying this? Why is this Daryl Ayo guy? And he was like saying, you're a racist. You're harassing me. See how I'm controlling my narrative, bitch? See how I'm controlling the narrative? You're harassing me. I'm black and you're white and blah, blah, blah. And then he'd say to me, see, this is what controlling the narrative is, you fucker. He was working for Firebell. So he was really good at that. And then he got Rich Johnson to write an article where Rich didn't ask me. He asked Daryl Ayo for his account of how I'd harassed him in a racist manner for being black. When all I did was say, Daryl, I've got John Malin here. You're calling him a white supremacist and me. You want to come on and talk to us about it? Like, we'll show you that, like, we're not naively. And he went, what the fuck? Like, this is racist to think that I'm going to talk to you. So that basically is what did it. I mean, that's what caused my cancellation. Now, it was political. Anybody who says that I was not canceled for political reasons is lying. They could say, well, he's unprofessional. They could say he's late. There's an argument to be made for both of those things. Those things do not get you blacklisted from the entire fucking comic book industry. Lots of artists are late. Lots of artists could be considered unprofessional. They're not unable to work. You can find something for them to do. For me, it was political, entirely political. Then the thing that happens after that, though, that's the most insane, is that they gaslight you and then tell others that they didn't do to you what you just watched them do to you. They say, your contract just wasn't renewed. That's all. We didn't do that. You're lying. Oh, you're such a victim, aren't you? Such a victim. So they take away your martyrdom. Like, I was politically martyred. I was a scalp for voting for Trump. I represented a conservative in comics, a rare one, who was basically shut out. My career was alive. It was doing great. And they did everything they could to slime me, call me a bigot, so that people on Reddit are like, that bigot? That guy's a bigot.
Yeah.
And that stuff never existed before. I showed no signs of bigotry or racism or anything like that. They attached that to me. Now, Shane, now I do. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
I mean,
now.
hang on a minute. Back on that back room, there was something like Dave Johnson, especially, really got hyper fixated with your sketchbook, and you know why? The sketchbook cover was yeah. I mean, the dude was posting like, "Look, he's a Nazi. He's right here, a Nazi." And I mean, the dude's literally saying this about that room. I just want everybody to kind of understand the effect of the room, which I didn't even understand it as I'm getting kicked out of it constantly. 3 times. I got kicked out twice. I was involved in the room 3 times, and then something leaked out. That same room, it's when people were trying to find a picture of your boy Zach to start a fight with him at a con.
They were trying to kill
They accused
him.
me of leaking that.
Yeah.
And they on Twitter, not Twitter, on Facebook publicly. But anyways, one of the things that was happening in that room is it's like I can't. It was like a fake outrage. So you got the pro guys in there ranting about people behind their back, and then they all kind of like a football huddle, okay? And then they all disperse with their information, and then according to DC or the general public, they're starting to hear complaints from multiple people in the industry. So it must be true. It wasn't cooked up in the back room somewhere. This must be organic interactions with EVS. It was really weird in hindsight. I look back at that a lot because I hadn't seen anything like that since like the Dungeoneers.
Yeah. It was very well done. It left me with like they really kicked my ass, and then I apologized. I mean, I had, that was the thing.
That was probably the worst thing you did. Actually.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I offended anyone. Like, I had no idea, and it took me a while to even understand. I didn't know what SJWs were. I didn't understand what cancel culture was. I had to read Vox Day. Vox Day called me up, and he was just like, "You want to read my book, and it'll tell you exactly what's happening to you and what to do about it." And I was panicked all the time. It was awful. So here's
in hindsight, I don't know if you working for I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you working for Jordan Peterson. I don't know if that actually hurt your case with these people.
Oh, it made it worse. Yeah. I had to ask DC Comics. I said, "Hey, is it okay?" And they said, "Yeah, it's okay." But yeah, they were like, "See." But I mean, working with Jordan Peterson was actually really helpful for me, my mental state.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm saying to these people that were already cooking up that we got to get Ethan thing. I think that actually meant something.
They were saying weird things. They're like, now that we've If we get him fired, though, he's going to be more dangerous than ever. Like, at least in the industry, we can control him. But I mean, they're just fucking super wrong. Like, if he's fired, he's going to be more powerful than ever, more dangerous than ever. I remember Tim Doyle saying weird shit like that. It's like, you guys are nuts, like nuts. So anyway, they got to Eric July, and now Eric is like saying this stuff. Like, I had a long conversation with people inside the industry, some who were close to the situations and individuals involved in exits. Do tell. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean close to our exit? You mean people who canceled us? According to them, the narratives around some creators being pushed out of the industry for political reasons weren't always accurate. In some cases, they claim it came down to professionalism issues. What a bunch of fucking bullshit. In other cases, the departures were voluntary. Now, could those people be wrong or even lying? Absolutely. That's always possible. But what I've ultimately realized is that without clear receipts of first-hand knowledge, it's difficult to conclusively accept any one version of events. So at this point, I'm far more cautious about taking claims at face value, no matter who they come from. The truth is the comic book industry, like any other industry, is complex. Oh, no, it isn't. There are good people, difficult people, politics, opportunities, and misunderstandings. What I can say for certain is that building the Rippaverse has allowed me to see far more of that complexity than I ever could from the outside looking in. And that perspective has changed a lot for me. And now here are his fans congratulating his adulthood. What a fucking
man.
asshole.
I like how he turns this whole thing that has nothing to do with him into some self-fulfilling prophecy of the Rippaverse and it being the light. It's like, go fuck yourself, dude. Like, this drives me fucking crazy. Like, he's like, I don't even know if it's true. I just wanted to bring it to y'all attention.
Yeah. Like, get out there and like join the chorus of pieces of shit who are like, that cancel thing that you witnessed, that didn't even really happen.
So, you know, the industry. Okay, let me defuse this whole bullshit post of Eric July's with one simple question, and everybody can answer this. We can all name leftists who work in comics. Who are right-wing people working at Marvel and DC right now?
I mean, we know, but like, you know, nobody else knows.
Yeah, because they're keeping it down low.
Yep.
Like, that's the thing. You cannot be a conservative and work in comics. You can't. I had talked about this before. I posted on Facebook a picture of me next to a Trump campaign bus. I had a Batman project paperwork signed for like up to 8 issues. Did one inventory issue, I got fired. I got fired from that gig, you know, just like that. The editor told me that he made sure, this editor is a big editor at DC Comics right now. The editor told me he'd already met with other editors and he made sure that they knew his side of the story. And that was it. Nobody ever had an issue working with me in all of comics up until this one guy in one post of, you know, so it's kind of like, this is bull. I don't. Why would DC? Does anybody really think anybody at DC Comics, a company that could be held liable, would tell you the truth in these situations? Like,
no,
you're a
it's not
fucking
DC
idiot if you
Comics
think
that's telling him. He's talking to Gale. He's talking to Mark Brooks. He's talking to the people who are accessible to him, who have an agenda with me. He's talking to Ron Mars. Maybe he's talking to these guys.
I want to say that. I want to go on record saying that if you guys ever wanted to know that Eric July is a talentless bag of actual bullshit, a bag full of shit, talentless. He's a black creator. Comicsgate doesn't like him. He makes comics. Why has he not been hired at Marvel and DC? That's how talentless he is.
I would say that, like, I would say for these guys who are just like, everybody's holding me back and stuff, go get a job at Marvel. I'm like, seriously, go take your work and go get a job at DC. You don't have to keep it. You can just say, psych, I was just kidding. I don't want the job, but go get one. Go see what happens to you. Go try to get a job at Marvel or DC. See how quickly they reject you. They will. You stink.
No, people are like, damn Shane. No, I'm serious. Like the evidence of the lack of understanding of comics. Do you think this guy with a channel and X amount of subs and he sold X amount of books, you think Marvel and DC, and he's supposedly being harassed by comics, even though we supported it and Drew covers for him and shit. Do you think like they just wouldn't put him on a fucking miniseries, like a Luke Cage miniseries? That's how fucking stupid he is when it comes to comic books, and they know it.
Yeah. Yash Matar says he is saying what he thinks the big two want to hear. Yes, he's worming his way into the industry. He's trying to become part of the club. He is.
I think it's more likely he's I don't think he's going to worm his way in. I mean, maybe they'll put him on
that's
something.
what he's trying to do. No, I don't know if he's trying to get on a Marvel or DC. He's trying to be like, see, the thing is, whatever happened to him 2 weeks ago, somebody rejected him hard because of his, the videos that he was making. So some leftist organization over there rejected him hard. So he posted this as a way of saying, I don't see it. I'm deaf, dumb, and blind. I'm not seeing that. And by the way, I talked to some people who told me that the things that I used to believe, I was just being naive. You guys are clearly innocent and all this shit. And I love the comic book industry. I love it, massa. I loves the comic book industry. That's basically what that whole thing was. He's trying to just kind of suck dick and get into the comic industry. Jose M. Ethan, what did you do to upset Aussie Zero Raging Rhino? I've never listened to him before until now, but he's such a low IQ talent. Let's flag it. No wonder Anna likes to hang out with such people. She looks like a genius in comparison. She used to say, like, Anna would be like, I'm always the smartest person in the room. It's like, not when you're with us, sweetheart. But yeah, like over on the Flashcast. What did I do to Raging Rhino? Nothing. I said to him, because he was talking to Flash, in one of these earlier streams where Flash was bad-mouthing me and my family. I said, what are you getting out of this? Are you getting a lot of subs, getting a lot of attention, making a lot of money from this? Your channel's growing because of this, is it? Doesn't seem to be. So what exactly are you getting out of it? And it pissed him off. Eric Winberg, thanks for gifting a membership. Yeah, so that's the world of Eric July right now. We can speculate about what he's doing, but man, it is really peculiar that like people are now saying, holy shit, like let me show you this, Shane. Partika is short reading reverse email delay. Okay, I think I got that one already.
I made the comment like Raging Rhinos, like, oh, these Indiegogos are late, but Rippaverse is on time. What does it matter if they're bad? And I said, I don't know. What does it matter if Kathleen Kennedy makes Star Wars? It's on time.
But Shane, it's no longer the case. Like, look at this here. Like, things are getting weird now. Eric July's whole reason du jour, his reason for not reason of the day, what's the word?
Reason for being.
Yes, but there's a French phrase for it that I can't think of.
Yeah, I know. Raison d'etre.
Yeah. Is that he's allowed to make comics because he might not be good at it, but he's quick and they ship on time. This guy, Jeff Strong, Shane, goes, I noticed these titles I ordered in 2025 haven't shipped yet. Any idea when they'll ship? Now listen to this list. Ripazine 5, Blood Root 2, Ripazine Collection 1, Alpha Core 2, Detention Crew 1, Great War of Separation 3, Black Guy Club 1, Curse number 1, Dirty Deeds 1. That's a lot of fucking books that haven't shipped yet. That's a lot of fucking books that are late that, Eric is sitting there like, and the thing is, like, these guys, like, I'm always wondering, like, what they're doing. Like, they exist in a world that I'm not participating in. Yellow Flash is doing this whole thing right now. Oh, Ethan's gonna, flag our stream. And all. What the fuck are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. Don't flag his stream, guys. Even if it does violate terms of service, don't just go over there. It's really easy to do. That's why I don't want you to do it. You just go over there when the live stream's on. You click the button next to it. It says report. You report. You say spam or misleading or bullying, harassment. You click one of those, and then you walk away. I don't want you to do that because it's so easy. Yeah, and nobody will know it was you or anything like that. Like, don't do it, okay? I'm just saying, Whatever I'm telling you, don't do it, even though it's easy and it's appropriate, and you might be breaking terms of service. Please don't go over there and do that real quick, because that's called false flagging. Even though it's not false, it's actually real and probably justified. Don't do it, okay? Don't do it. So, what the hell was I saying, Shane?
Dude, you went off on the yellow.
I went off on a
thing. We're talking about
tangent
these books. We're talking about these books
books
not shipping.
Yeah, so they're not shipping right now. So the old excuse about like, hey, at least we're on time, like, it doesn't seem to be the case anymore. I don't think you can really say like we're on time. Now, Eric, this is what I meant to say. Eric is putting out these weird things with help from idiots like Yellow Flash and like Ethan says, like, without saying my name, certain people say that this book doesn't exist. And it's like, see, it's the omnibus and it's real heavy and it does exist. And I'm like, I didn't say that. Like, Shane, I'm over here doing my work and I'm going, what the fuck? I didn't say that it doesn't exist. Like, who's saying that I said that it doesn't exist? I know it exists.
Yeah.
And they're making a big fuss out of it. Like, see, the books exist. The books exist. But then I look at this list and I see that, you know what doesn't exist? The Rippaverse Collection Volume 1, Ripazine 5, Bloodroot 2, Alpha Core 2, Detention Crew 1, Great Wars Operation 3, Black Eye Club 1, Curse 1, Dirty Deeds 1. So I'm like, what's going on?
Sounds like Eric needs to come off of YouTube, like he told you boy Zach, quit doing YouTube till he gets these books out.
Yeah, like I just look at that and I just go, what? Like, so I don't believe, like, if you ask me, Ethan, do you believe that Eric is like completely broke? How could he be? You know what I mean? Like, no. But then this, like, if you're a fan and you're sitting there looking at this going, I think Eric's broke. I don't blame you for thinking that, because there's like this is weird. This is very, very weird.
Well, there's something else weird that happens around this, is him getting rid of the counter.
Yeah,
like,
that's the other thing. Like the money.
Yeah. And wasn't he Mr. Transparency? Wasn't he like, the whole thing, I'm going to be as transparent as possible? Right?
Well, it's not even about transparency. It's about bragging. See,
well, yeah, but he had
it's
that
about
transparency.
bragging.
Yeah. But he did have this whole thing on his site about transparency at one point, where he said this is the cost of the warehouse and shit. Look, the guy's just all over the place right now. Like he's hiding his numbers because they don't look good. We all know why. And here's a backlog of books, and he's still trying to sell you a new whole list of books to buy. Like, here's 3 for the month.
It's just more and more. Last Ready says, I'm not buying the whole EVS was fired for lack of professionalism, simply on the fact that his leftist peers say awful crap to people on social, and yet nothing happens to them. I mean, that's 100% proof that it was political. Because, I mean, nothing I did is worse than, like, what some of these retards do. And they're still around. Like, you're allowed to be a jerk. You just can't be conservative.
All right, so let me sum this up a little bit. Like, from an outside perspective of you, I'm sure you could do really great on your own. But here's the thing. If Ethan was even one of those things, they still would have kept him around and hired him as a cover artist, right? And they would have made their money with Ethan Van Sciver covers, just like they do J. Scott Campbell. J. Scott Campbell, difficult to work with, slow. So what they do, they hired the bejesus out of him for fucking covers for X amount of years.
Yeah.
You could go down the list of slow artists, and they're sitting there pumping out 3 or 4 covers a month. Adam Hughes, like Travis Charest, whoever you want to pick, right? Brian Boland, the fact that wasn't the case for Ethan is proof that he was canceled.
Yes. That's it. It's very simple.
It's retarded that people are trying to reconfigure this thing to look like something else. And I know why they're doing it, because they don't actually read comics or keep up with comics. Yes, there are people who are difficult. And with that said, Ethan was working on Rebirth, which was a double shipping run of books. Rebirth, Deathstroke. I was doing 2 covers a month for Deathstroke. Dan wanted me to jump on and lead one of those, and I couldn't because I was a caregiver at the time for my mom. I the fact that even Ethan was even touching the monthly books and they were shipping twice a month is a testament that Ethan can draw when he wants to.
When I want to, yeah.
No,
yeah.
in general, like when you have to go, you can get those reps out.
I can do it, Steve.
You can do it. I believe in you.
I can do it. I can do it, everybody.
Like LOL. No, I can too. Like, man, I'm kind of slow sometimes, but I've been out there where I'm like pumping out 5 pages a week. I've done it before, but it sucks.
I'm doing it now. I'm working as hard as I can work and still do decent quality. You know, I'm working 9 hours a day with the camera on, and that's about all I have. 9 hours is every drop of time that I have during the day, without, you know, taking care of Andrea and Ava, and, you know, and then maybe doing a live stream at night, going to the play and all this stuff. So,
how's the play going? Pretty good.
It's funny, yeah. She's she has to sing "Don't Stop Believing." She loves it. She absolutely loves it. It's wonderful. Well, with that, I want to thank everybody for being here. 3.5 hours, not too bad for guys. How was the trash cast? Was it good or was it not good? You guys will let me know, I'm sure.
I think it's good, but I think I think Eric's starting to get boring to you.
Well, I don't know if
sometimes.
I think this thing did not bore me at all. This pissed me off, and I think it was meant to piss me off.
Well, because I mean, it's weird. Well, like, what's the point, really? What's the point of saying you weren't canceled? First, answer that, and then work out from that. Like, there's a reason that they want to say you weren't canceled.
Yeah, I know, because it's just an insult to injury. It's like, no, this was you that did this to you. Like, it wasn't us that teamed up to destroy you, because that would make us the villains. So we're not the villains. It's you. You know, it's like, and then to have some of my conservative peers or people who are supposed to be on my side support them in that, it just means like I'm alone is what it means. And I felt that way for a little while, where I just have to go, it's me against the world, and it just is, and that's how it is. And it sucks. That's why I don't mind calling Aaron Pierre a faggot. I just don't care. Like, what's gonna happen?
They're saying you missed some super chats, by the way.
I doubt it. Let me see here.
Well, I know one just came.
Why would EJ think he's good enough for the mainstream? He surely can't be that deluded into thinking his books have reached that high standard, says Fan Art Exhibit. He is that deluded. He thinks we're lying to him. He thinks that his books are good enough. Nobody has told him. There's nobody he trusts that has told him the truth about himself. He is vain.
It's crazy, but nobody on his payroll is going to tell him his books suck.
I told him that. He said, "Do you think I got Chuck Dixon? Why would I listen to some punk ass?" I'm like, Chuck isn't going to tell you anything. Are you kidding me? Why? He's a legend. You're paying him. You understand he has been impoverished for like years and can't get like decent work in the business anymore.
Why? Because
you are a gold. Because he's a conservative. You are a fucking golden goose. You think he's going to piss you off? You are like, why? What's in it for him? What would Eric get out of telling you that you're not that great of a writer? Nothing. He would get nothing but grief. Read your super chats, Pie Man. Let me see here. Thank you, everybody. My favorite Rippaverse was Marketing Tales to Astonish. Here's a yellow, says Tarks. EJ proved that people actually like Luke Cage with ice on, says Andrew White. I don't think so. Yash Matar says, wait, are we Me Tooing Ethan now? He called me gay. I'll tell you, man, that would be hilarious. To Me Too me. I did hit on some cosplay chicks in between my marriages. I did, so, you know.
Who didn't hit on some cosplay?
Yeah. I had some fun. I had a little bit of fun. Matt Sicilian says, I'm Batman. None of them are going to come forward, though, Shane, because they like me, too. Ethan put his hand where I pee, says Doc Brewski. Let me see. EVS equals Human Sunbeam. Flash is Big Mad and slumming it. Good work, Hale, says Missing Link 4715. Hamilton Burger says, remember when people thought EJ understood business? Reggie Grant says, Rippaverse had 10 8.1K sales in February across 8 titles. Make of that what you will. Are you watching that close? I know who Reggie is. He's qualified to know that. How do you know that? How do you across February?
I think he might still tell you how many books are sold, not what the dollar amount is. I think so. Maybe you could kind of do the math.
Yeah.
That's weird. I haven't paid that close attention to it. But I wonder if you can still figure out roughly, because he'll do those posts bragging.
Mm-hmm.
I sold this many books or something like that.
Thanks
So
for
it's like,
$1
why get rid of
Facebook,
the meter if you're going to do that?
Why get rid of the meter at all? Like, it's just really, really fucking strange.
If you don't mind, I just wanted to point out, we did cross over $15,000 completely with our Indiegogo on this. I want to thank everybody for that. Please go over here. It's going to be a 60-day campaign. We're going to do another 30 on this after this 15, but make sure to get a copy of this. I'm wrapping this book up, getting ready to hopefully go to print. I have one last batch of pages I'm working on. And then we're doing the dialogue and all that stuff. So grab a copy. We got a King Kong versus 232 cover. And if you guys haven't, we do have Ethan's cover available, which is probably like one of his better covers. If I
love that cover. Yeah.
It's a great cover. Little T living his best life. This is going to be foil and embossed. This is from the original campaign. You can go grab it. And I want to thank everybody in CG for making this happen. I know I maybe don't say it enough, but we are really appreciative of all the support this community has given. And, I just, want to thank you, Ethan, most of all.
My pleasure. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We'll see you again. I'll see you tomorrow for Draw Stream.
Yep.
But we will do another Trash Cast next week. Thanks, folks.
All right.
Adios.
You should know that the man with the power of nature can bring you to the end of your life. And you should know by my smile and the look in my eyes that you're about to be massively forced to give up. Chicken attack, chicken attack. Your back before it fades to black. They may look harmless, but they become more chicken eyes. Go chicken go, go chicken go. Now gonna fly you on the sky. The power of nature, you're never alone, and you can't let it alone. Every beast, every tree follows me to the end, and you're about to be massively chicken attack, chicken attack. Got your back before it fades to black. They may look harmless, but they become more chicken eyes. Go chicken go, go chicken go. Now gonna fly on the sky. You're young and you're hungry, perhaps short on money. I give you this chicken today. It's eggs for your dinner, it's legs for next winter. You won't have to steal again. The chicken go.